Happy Tuesday. And let's just call it a blazing Tuesday right now. Temperatures, according to at least my iPhone, feels like over 102 degrees right now outside. And if you're watching on our streams, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, Coos, hit me with some other ones, Twitch. Mixer's no more, I found out. That's a shame.
How crazy is that?
I mean, is it that crazy or not? I have no idea what that even means.
Okay, so, I mean, we don't have to get too video gamey here, but...
That's whatever, man. It's Tuesday.
But it has to do with contracts and stuff, so it kind of can come back to sports. So there's two streamers, Ninja being the most popular one, that was on Mixer. Mm-hmm. Well, Mixer's no more. I think they're moving to, like, Facebook Gaming or something like that. Like, they're just done.
Sure.
Well... Ninja had signed a contract with them saying, like, I'm only going to stream on your services for X amount of years. I think it was 5 or something like that, for a lot of money. They had to pay him just to, like, close, essentially. Yeah.
So basically he's getting paid not to work right now.
I think he's going to, I don't know what he's going to do. I'd imagine he'd just go back to Twitch or maybe Facebook or something, but he'll keep streaming. I mean, he made his money.
No, for sure. But, like... My point with that, though, is Mixer has to still pay him for the whole year.
Yeah, and I think they just paid it straight up. Like,
wow, just one lump sum.
Of millions.
Well, that's what's going to happen to me. Not millions, hundreds, more like it. But this will be the last live show for, what do we got, Kuz, like 1.5 weeks or so?
Yeah, next week we're off.
Yeah. And then we'll come back the following Monday, I believe, right? So, yeah, so this will be the last show live for like 1.5 weeks, unless there's some breaking news, more than likely Jaguars related, in which case I will be on call. I'll be in the bullpen. And if Kuz needs me to, speak some truth about some incidents that happened, I'll be back in here. But as of right now, we'll be off for the next week and a half.
Yes, and the rest of this week will be some best of shows. So I've gone through the archives, found out some of our favorite interviews that we've had, and we'll kind of take a deep dive going back in that, and obviously update with sports stuff going on as well. So
I guess when I say that we're going to be on a break, I'll be on a break.
Yeah, no, I'll still be
Brent's
here.
already on a break.
Yeah.
You may have the hardest job of all now, because now you have to make sure everything's running smoothly with all the clips that you put together, kind of the best of shows, right? So it's a lot of pressure on you.
A really good chance I mess a lot of this up.
Good.
Because, I'll be there's a good chance I introduce, like, a Dana White clip and we hear a Gardner Minshew interview, there's...
Yeah, that's probably going to happen. But getting back to the point at hand, though, so yes, I'm wearing a tank top right now. You know why? Because it's the last day of work for me for a week and a half. So it's almost like the last day of school. So I'm celebrating. And number two, it's in my contract where if it's over 100 degrees, regardless if we're outside doing a show or if we're inside doing a show, I can wear a tank top.
We are both giving off two very different vibes right now. Like, you're in a tank top, and I'm in a hoodie.
No, let me go ahead and set the scene real quick for everybody listening, and obviously can't see you on the stream. So, yeah, let me go ahead and set this scene right now. So I get ready for the show. I walk outside probably about 2:25, and I'm wearing one of my usual black T-shirts. You know me, Kuz. I'm a black T-shirt type of guy, just the way I am. Without probably taking 3 steps to my car, I'm like, yep, way too hot. Back inside I go. Need to get a tank top. Because there was no way I was going to sit here in this studio, which is toasty, by the way, and sweat my butt off like I do because I have to talk 3 hours about sports. Wasn't going to happen. So it's tank top season today, and hopefully you guys can all deal with it. It's not so much of a flex as it is just a necessity for my comfort and me just sweating everywhere. So I figured if I'm going to sweat, might as well be in a tank top. I come in the studio, and Kuz, like it's the middle of December in Wisconsin, is rocking jeans?
No, I have shorts on.
Oh, okay, so then I have a huge issue with this then. All right, so Kuz rocking shorts. Okay, I get it. It's Florida. It's the summer. Rocking one of his $80 hats. Flex. It's always a flex when he wears it. Who has an $80 hat? Justin
At this
Kuz.
point, is my only option. My hair's getting so rough.
Are you not getting haircuts either?
Well, I need
one.
What
What is with this non-haircut crew that we have rolling here with Brent and you?
My situation is the place that cuts my hair has not called me, so I feel like they don't want to cut my hair, so I'm not going to go.
Are they supposed to call you?
Well, they usually do.
Just to say, hey, it's been a little while. Why don't you come back?
Oh, they'll be like, hey, it's been about 5 weeks. You want to come back in for a haircut? I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see you on Monday.
Kuz, that's some high school girl stuff right there, man. Like, he hasn't called me in like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know what to do. Dude, just show up and say, hey, give me a haircut, please.
No, I don't want them to come here.
All right, then you know what? Then let your hair grow out and see how it works out for you. But the mainstay on this ensemble right now for you, what you're wearing, is you're wearing a very thick, it could be goose down, I'm not positive. It could be lined with sheep fur, authentic, not even the fake stuff. So, PETA, holler at your boy. But he's wearing this very thick and very warm-looking hoodie. And can I ask why? With shorts, by the way, which is a fashion faux pas.
Well, yeah, no,
and if you had me saying fashion faux pas on the show today in Vegas, odds are probably plus 2,000. Go ahead and cash your checks right now.
I do have a problem with the shorts and long sleeve anything look.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, and so the only reason I do it is I don't know about you, and maybe the room you're in is hot. The room I'm in
Stop. First of all, stop. You know dang well the room I'm in is hot. You can see the beads of sweat already dripping down my face, and we're 8 minutes into the show right now.
The where I am is under 2 AC vents.
Yeah.
So I'm getting hit by cold air on both sides. Literally every time I come in this room, I go, why is it so cold in here?
It sounds delectable because what it feels like in here, it feels like 3 rats are having a party inside a wool sock, and that's how I feel right now. It's that hot, man. Like, I'm seriously, you see me sweating right now, right?
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? The greats adapt. The greats adjust. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to talk about sports with everyone listening at home and watching on the feeds, and we're going to get through this together. And Kuz, when I say together, you know, obviously the lifeblood, the engine of our show is our fan base. You know, we still haven't given them a name yet. I'm thinking the 690 Syndicate, maybe the 690 Squad. Maybe that's a question that I should put on Twitter for a different time. I'm going to call them the Syndicate, okay? And the 690 Syndicate, it rolls strong because we have a really supportive fan base. I see you guys out there on Twitter. I see you guys on Facebook. I see you guys in the DMs, and we honestly, wholeheartedly appreciate it. Whether you agree with us or not, you're talking to us, and that's what makes the show roll. Without you guys, we're nothing, right? Yesterday, we had a gentleman ask a question. I believe it was on YouTube, right, Kuz?
Yeah, his name was Raymond.
His name was Raymond. All right. So Raymond asked a question on YouTube towards the end of the show. I think it was about the Rams, right? Which team's going to have the better record this up and coming year? The Rams and the Jaguars. And I probably broke some people's hearts because I said the Rams. It is what it is. But then as we were going off the show, Kuz noticed that Raymond had another, well, it wasn't even a question. It was more of a statement. Can you tell what Raymond said as the show was going off air as I answered his question, please, Goose?
Literally, like right as we ended the stream, he popped his comment in, and he just said, "Thanks for answering my question. You made my day. I'm laying in a hospital bed after having bypass heart surgery." Yeah.
So, listen, not going to tell anybody how to live your life. First of all, most importantly, Raymond, I hope you're doing all right, man. I'm not super qualified in the medical field, but I know anytime we're talking about heart surgery, it's a pretty serious ordeal. So that I'm glad that you're able to obviously message the show, ask the questions. But dude, who gets open heart surgery and when they're chilling, it's like, you know what? I wonder what ESPN690 is doing. And he turns on the show. How awesome is that?
I love that. I've only ever had a surgery once.
Yeah.
To get my adenoids removed, and I didn't have to stay in the hospital bed very long. Like I think I left like an hour after the surgery.
Yeah.
But even that hour that I remember being there, while you're out of it, you're kind of just like, all right, now what? Like you have nothing to do.
Yeah. And listen, man, I'm all for it. Like to me, it's an honor that he would even think of us through such a trying time, right? And I get it sometimes. And listen, I've only had surgery once myself, and that was to replace a torn labrum my second year in the NFL. I missed about a half of the season because of it. Had to go down to Pensacola to see Dr. James Andrews, who is really like you'd probably call him, he's just the top dog in terms of sports surgeries, especially when it comes to shoulders and ACLs, things like that. Like, if there was a Madden and part of the side missions was to try to rank like your, doctor for surgeries, Dr. James Andrews is a 9-9 overall in every single thing. Okay, Hall of Famer, guy's got a protege. Like he travels with like 10 people who are just like taking notes on him because like he's that big of a deal. So I get my shoulder surgery done. I'll never forget it, man. I was nervous too. I mean, surgery's a big thing. right? To anybody. It doesn't matter if it's routine, doesn't matter if it's a serious thing. I mean, anytime you get knocked out like that with anesthesia, it can be a trip. And I'll never forget my nurse, was I wasn't super nervous, but I was kind of like, heart rate's up a little bit. And my nurse kept on asking me, like, hey, you going to be okay? How you feeling? I'm like, I'm fine. So I'm get it over with, yada, yada, yada. And then they start to administer, the anesthesia. So, they put it like in the IV or whatever. And she's like, all right, well, you're going to fall asleep here in a couple seconds. And she's like, don't worry, you're not going to remember this conversation. I go, oh, really? So now it's a challenge to me. Whether it's the floor is hot lava from yesterday, or whether it's trying to remember something that my nurse told me right before I got knocked out for surgery, the game is on, right? So she starts talking. I'm like, say something to me and see if I can remember it. So she talks about Tennessee football because she grew up in Tennessee. And she was talking about how Tennessee football has been really down, and she hopes that they can go back to the days of Peyton Manning and hopefully have a turnaround pretty soon. Spoiler alert, they didn't, because Tennessee football is Tennessee football. We always talk about, this is the year they turn around. This is the year. Nevertheless, get knocked out. Dr. James Andrews puts a signature on my shoulder, dominates it as usual. The guy's a stud. I wake up. First thing I do when I wake up, where's that nurse I was talking to before my surgery? And keep in mind, she's with other patients right now. So they bring her and I go, Tennessee football, not that good, huh? And then boom, mic drop, and I roll myself out in the wheelchair. But I guess she's like, you're not supposed to remember that. Maybe we should give you a bigger dose next time. Like, well, whatever it was, I remembered it. Tennessee football, there you go. But needless to say that we appreciate all our listeners, man, especially the ones that get heart surgery and then feel the need to reach out, ask me a question. That's awesome, dude.
Raymond he is on the stream right now. He's saying thanks for the comments.
Oh, well, right on then, Raymond. We hope you're doing well, man. Wishing you a fast and speedy recovery.
Yeah.
And you know what's up, man. If you got more questions, just throw them in the box, and I'll try my best to answer them.
He did have a question. We did address this, I think, maybe it was Friday or Monday. I can't remember, but he asked about Jamal Adams to the Jags.
Yeah.
And your thoughts on it.
Yeah, and that's something that hopefully we have Jason Fitz on today, too, because I heard Jason Fitz talking about Jamal Adams a little bit. I want Jamal Adams in Jacksonville, okay? You know how I feel about the salary cap. There's always money, okay? You can always make it worse. You can always move some things around to make sure that the pieces are in place to sign whoever you need. If you're a fan of the TV show Arrested Development, there's always money in the banana stand. Let's just say that. And I think with Jamal Adams, like I discussed a little bit on Friday, this is a guy who's not only one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in the NFL, but he's also a guy that I feel like can turn your whole culture around. And right now, the Jaguars on defense, they're super young and they're super intriguing. But there are some flags right now. We still need guys to show up and do well. And I think Jamal Adams can give you that toughness, that identity, and most importantly, that attitude that you want on a defense. So I understand Jamal Adams was very advocate, saying now I guess he wants to go to the Cowboys. And it's funny because I guess a fan had a video posted on Twitter saying, hey, Jamal Adams, what's up, man? And he goes, hopefully I'm going to the Cowboys, right? I guess I'm in the minority, and this is the question for Jason Fitz I got coming forward here when we talk to him, hopefully. Why is Jamal Adams calling the shots right now? Why is Jamal Adams saying where he's going to go? Because the last time I checked, he's under contract from the New York Jets. And the last time I checked, Adam Gase, the head coach of the New York Jets, is a lot of things in the coaching world, but I've heard firsthand he's not a player's coach. So why would Adam Gase just go ahead and send Jamal Adams to where Jamal Adams wants to go to? Okay? If I'm Adam Gase and I'm trying to set a precedent for what I want with this team and what I expect from Jets players going forward, I'm sending Jamal Adams to the worst possible spot and say, hey, guess what? If you guys want to jump ship and you guys don't believe in me, well, then these are your other options. You can't jump ship. You can't go against what I believe in and then expect to go win a Super Bowl in Kansas City.
Is it weird that almost, and this might sound bad, but that almost gives me more hope that the Jags actually might have a chance if they're interested?
It's truth be told, I think any team has a chance right now, because I really do. Because, obviously when he said the Cowboys thing, there was the rumor mill was churning. And supposedly, according to some NFL analysts, and I can't remember if Schefter tweeted this out or not, But supposedly the Dallas Cowboys offered the New York Jets a first-round pick for Jamal Adams, and the Jets turned it down. Now, keep in mind, Cowboys, a very promising team going forward. I think one of the favorites to win their division. Obviously, Philadelphia's up there as well. But I truly believe right now that, listen, if you're the Jets and you are taking a first-round pick from the Cowboys, well, if you're the Jaguars, what's it to throw a first-round pick possibly and, I don't know, let's say a second-round pick or a third-round pick, just could try to sweeten the deal a little bit. Or maybe throw Yannick Ngakoue there and maybe like a second or third-round pick as well. I think there's a lot of options that the Jaguars can do right now. I just don't like the narrative, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm very in my stance that I think that Adam Gase is not the type of player to do Jamal Adams any favors. I don't think he's like Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell were with Calais Campbell. Now, listen, we don't know what Calais Campbell, what the market was for him. But I can almost wholeheartely guarantee that there were teams out there that were worse than the Ravens that probably offered Jacksonville a little more. Now, a little more. Maybe the same round of pick that the Ravens did, but obviously it's a worse team, so you get better value. But my point is that Calais Campbell was so well respected in that Jaguars organization that they did Calais Campbell a favor. Like, if we can't keep you, the next best thing from our case is to watch you go succeed somewhere else and maybe get a Super Bowl. They traded him to the Ravens, who are in the AFC, by the way, who, if the Jaguars have any motivation to go to a Super Bowl, they have to get through Baltimore, okay? So the Jacksonville Jaguars did the Ravens a favor. They did Calais Campbell a favor because that's what you do when you have such respect and admiration for a player. I don't think the New York Jets organization and Adam Gase had that exact same admiration and respect for Jamal Adams. Now, I don't think it's got nothing to do with Jamal Adams' attitude. I just think that Adam Gase is still fairly new on the scene in New York. He's still trying to implement his culture. And right now, him and Jamal Adams just haven't had time to mesh and coexist together. So it is what it is from that standpoint. But I just think right now people are crazy thinking like, oh, yeah, Jamal Adams going to the Seahawks or he's going to the 49ers. Or he's going to the Super Bowl caliber team. Doesn't have to, man. Doesn't have to.
I saw people saying the Rams as well.
I mean, listen, man. Literally right now, and like if you're going off Vegas odds, Vegas just posted some odds right now, and it's funny that this is one of the things, right, we're talking about. So the odds of Jamal Adams ending up on an NFL team, they have all 32 teams here. Now, keep in mind that this just came out, and I'm sure it's subject to change as news comes out as well. But this is on USA Today right now. Do you know who the favorite is to have Jamal Adams still? It's the New York Jets.
Wow.
Right now, Vegas has it at plus 150 that Jamal Adams is going to be a New York Jet this year. Very interesting. Second best team, Dallas Cowboys, plus 550. Third best odds right now, plus 800, Houston Texans.
Where are the Jags?
Plus 800 for the 49ers. I mean, well, you know how these slide things work. It takes you forever to get through them. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to commercial, and then I'm going to go through about 25 slides and go through all these advertisements and have to hit X like 25 times because I'm not interested in losing weight around my midsection and wearing a rat for the next 20 days of my life. So get this commercial out of my thing. But I'm going to come back on after the segment, and we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars' odds to land Jamal Adams.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy, hot and humid with scattered afternoon storms on Tuesday. Temperatures in the low to mid 90s, feels like 100 degrees. Stay cool out there. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now, more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, this is Bob Herman. I'm a media consultant with Cox Media Group in Jacksonville. I've been in the business for 30 years. And my success has come from helping you to succeed. Whether it's radio, digital, an event, or just offering a consultation. To me, it's about building a partnership and being accountable for doing the best I can for you. If you'd like to find out more, please call me, Bob Herman, at 904-245-8678. That's 245-8678. Let me go to work for you.
Boss, check out this headline in the Crooks R Us newsletter. Big Blue Alarm now allowing contact center employees to work from home.
Whoa, all of them?
Not quite. Says 88% of Big Blue employees are working from home.
Wonder if their customers know that the people monitoring their alarm are probably sitting at the kitchen table in their underwear.
Hey, maybe that's one of the reasons Big Blue doesn't have a guaranteed response.
That is an excellent point. Too bad Safe Touch Security isn't more like Big Blue Alarm.
Wishful thinking, boss. Listen to this. Safe Touch Security still leads the way with the fastest response time in the industry. Boss, how do they do it?
Doesn't matter. We still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Do that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Been dreaming of subway tile and butcher block counters? Outdoor kitchens and pavers?
Oh, honey.
The weather's great and it's time to knock out those nagging home projects with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Borrow up to 90% loan to value and pay no closing costs. Best of all, we'll give you a free wheelbarrow. That's right, a free wheelbarrow. Apply today at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Just please, no more shiplap.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Celebrate your freedom to save at the 4th of July sale going on now at Arlington Toyota, where you'll get more bang for your buck on every new Toyota Arlington's got. And they've got a lot of them. During the 4th of July sales event at Arlington Toyota, you can get 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. That's 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. Leave it to Arlington Toyota to do their 4th of July sale right, because they're giving you no payments until 2021 on your new Toyota purchase. Yes, no payments until 2021 on your new Toyota. And with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. It's the 4th of July sale going on now at Arlington Toyota. Open extended hours, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/New July 4th for full details.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Do you hear something in the attic?
Where do you want to eat tonight?
Why won't the lights work?
Where should I take my car for engine work?
Do you think I need to get this spot checked out?
Where did these bugs come from?
When are we going to paint the house?
These and hundreds of other questions are still being asked daily. Will the answer be your business or your competitors? Don't leave it to chance. Let Cox Media Group Jacksonville make you the answer to their questions. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com and let's build Jax.
We have big rolls of carpet, hardwood too, laminates, hot area rugs for you. At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Our prices are low, 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 low.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Don't delay, we'll put it in next day.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man. Y'all them sees that, you hear? At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz or
call 838-6705, the Carpet Man.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Get ready for a riveting, action-packed thriller. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere, not knowing how they got there or why they've been chosen. They soon learn it's for one very specific purpose: the hunt. King Crystal, played by Betty Gilpin, turn the tables on Athena, played by Hilary Swank, and her group of hunters. Don't miss The Hunt, along with other summer blockbusters. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
As the major nonprofit safety net organization in Nassau County, Barnabas Center has been on the front lines throughout the pandemic, providing critical assistance to those in need of food, financial assistance, medical and dental care, and mental health services. Barnabas thanks its many supporters that have given hope to thousands of struggling individuals and families. For information and to support Barnabas, visit barnabasnassau.org. That's barnabasnassau.org.
Everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 podcast. Just search ESPN690 in your podcast app.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Yeah, Lamar said it, so I respect his opinion on it, and that's how, if he views it that way, that's how he views it. I don't think it's really, that doesn't bother me.
Does any of that fall to you, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we took him lightly personally. I think we just didn't play well. But you go back, you want to go back and look at all that stuff and, I don't know, rehash it. We can, but we're going to try to become a better team in that circumstance at the end of the season, just like we tried to become a better team throughout the season, and we were very successful with that. So I'm not getting into all
that. Ravens head coach John Harbaugh regarding some of the comments that Lamar Jackson had. I think we talked about that last week, actually on a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, where Lamar Jackson, MVP, stud, fantasy football god for me, in my case, because I won the championship. Thank you, Lamar Jackson. You got a nice Ruth Chris dinner waiting for you when you get to Jacksonville, sir. But he did say that he felt like his team took the Tennessee Titans lightly in the playoffs. And I think me and Brent disagreed a little bit. And Brent made some great points where a lot of teams take the Titans lightly because it's really just Derrick Henry, right? And you see Ryan Tannehill out there, and it's like, can these guys really beat us? And then all of a sudden you have Derrick Henry, who's 6'5" and an absolute beast, run you over, and it's 8-8 and out the gate, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I disagreed, though, with Lamar Jackson's comments, and I thought they came from a place of just lying as far as I'm concerned. And once again, I got nothing but respect for Lamar Jackson. But if you mean to tell me that you're in the AFC Championship game and you're taking a team lightly, you're taking a team that beat the New England Patriots in their backyard, and not just beat them, really outmanned them, outgunned them, outplayed them, outcoached them, and embarrassed them for the divisional round of the playoffs. So you mean to tell me that you watched that film, because that's what teams do. Teams watch the film from the week before. You watch the film against the New England Patriots, the defensive genius of Bill Belichick, and you watch the Titans roll over them and you think you took the Titans lightly? Nah, man, okay? Just be honest. Just come out and say it, Lamar Jackson. You guys got beat at your own game. You got the ball run down your throats. You got outplayed on defense, and it is what it is. You just got to accept it and move on, man. But saying that you guys weren't prepared, come on, man. Who you lying to? And Lamar Jackson, and this is the funniest thing that I can't stop laughing about, broke the cardinal sin of being a quarterback on an NFL team, especially a young one at that. And I get it. He's won the MVP, and as far as the echelons of which he can talk, he's up there with the greats, and I understand that. But never say that you weren't prepared for a football game, especially if you're a quarterback. Because do you know why? I know what kind of camp John Harbaugh runs. We had a couple Ravens players on the show before, and we talked about it off the air. I've talked to a couple current Ravens players about it. John Harbaugh runs one of the toughest camps in the entire NFL. Whether it's training camp, whether it's during the season, he runs one of the most mentally grueling and physically taxing training camps out there. If this news gets back to John Harbaugh now and says, your team wasn't prepared against the Tennessee Titans, what do you think John Harbaugh is going to do in training camp now? Do you think he's going to sit his team down the first day of practice and say, yeah, you know what, guys? We just weren't mentally prepared for the Tennessee Titans. Lamar Jackson was right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to ease the reins up a little bit, and we're going to go through a lot more X's and O's on the board. Are you kidding me? Go ahead, Goose. You got something to say, man.
How much would be the like heart drop or stomach drop, be if it's the first day of practice, everyone's there, and he goes, well, we need to make sure we're mentally prepared. And everyone's going to go, dude, oh, no.
Here's the thing, man, and that's exactly right, Kuz, because what do we always talk about on the show? There's ego in coaching, okay? Every single NFL coach, whether you're a position coach, a coordinator, especially a head coach, you got some ego. And if somebody in the media, like just happened with John Harbaugh, calls you out and says you weren't prepared, you take that personally. That's like walking up to somebody on the street and giving them the middle finger, saying that you weren't prepared. That's one of the worst things that you can hear as an NFL coach. It's going to cause you to pull out your hair. And you know what? Some coaches have lost their hair because they've been told they weren't prepared enough, okay? That's why they're bald. That's why their interiors of their home during the NFL draft suck, because they're trying their best to make sure that they're always prepared. So my point is, Lamar Jackson, once again, MVP, props to you for doing that, man. Won me a fantasy football championship. But that guy rocks a red jersey, man. And I can just see John Harbaugh the first week of training camp saying, all right, we weren't prepared enough. We weren't prepared enough. Okay, well then let's go ahead and do live team periods for the next 2.5 hours, and let's make sure that we're prepared enough for when we play a physical team like the Tennessee Titans, we're not going to get curb stomped again. And you know what the most messed up part of that whole thing is? Is that Lamar Jackson wears a red jersey and doesn't have to embrace the physicality during practice. No, yes, he takes his shots during the game, and obviously there's a catch-22 and there's a double standard in how quarterbacks get treated in training camp, as they should be. Not complaining about that. But I'm just saying, if I'm a defensive lineman, if I'm Calais Campbell, if I'm even Mark Ingram, and Lamar Jackson saying that we weren't prepared, and I know John Harbaugh is going to be so upset about it, and now I'm sure training camp is already going to be hard enough, and now we're going to ramp it up another notch. I'm like, Lamar, hey, big trust. Can we keep on the DL a little bit, man? I don't want to work any harder because we got one of the hardest training camps in the NFL, man. Help me out. Help me help you. So I just think it's going to be a funny dynamic, and I can't wait to hear about the horror stories coming out of Ravens training camp because Harbaugh is going to push them to the absolute maximum. Before we went to break here, I tried to diagnose what Vegas had the Jacksonville Jaguars at landing Jamal Adams. Shout out to MSN.com/sports for making this one of the hardest tasks of all time. I just want to see where the Jaguars' odds are at. I don't have to go through a Rubik's Cube of advertisements and commercials. I don't have to read about a former Wirecard CEO arrested in a scandal over missing cash on Bloomberg. Not sure why you took me to that page. I don't have to read about every Boston Celtics championship ring from banner 1 to 17. Who really cares about that? Maybe the websites listening to Brent Martineau talk about the Celtics a little bit too much. But my point is, I just wanted to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars' odds were to land Jamal Adams. Finally got to him. It took a fortnight, but we're finally here. Coming in at number 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars right now are a plus 8,000. Plus 8,000 to land Jamal Adams. Now, listen, I don't know what goes into these bets. I'm not sure this is even actually officially a bet in Vegas. And I'm not really sure what the criteria is, but I'll be very adamant about it. I don't mind the Jaguars' chances, okay? I'm not saying I'd take the plus 8,000 bet, but I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a better chance than any other team in the NFL right now, honestly, because once again, I'm very adamant in believing that Adam Gase is not going to do Jamal Adams any favors. And you know what? I'm not the biggest Adam Gase supporter out there, but I side with Adam Gase on this one, where if Jamal Adams wants to go someplace, he's going to go to the place that gives me the best deal. I'm not going to take care of Jamal Adams for what he's done for my football team. We're not friends, man, all right? We're co-workers, and it is what it is. NFL, one of the most cutthroat businesses out there. And if he wants to go someplace else, have fun. But it's not going to be where you want to go. And keep in mind, if you're Doug Marrone right now, if you're Dave Caldwell, heck, if you're Shad Khan right now, you have to look at what you have on a roster and where you guys are as a team right now, especially, in my opinion, Dave Caldwell. And I'm going to break down some Dave Caldwell information later on in the show here. I'm going to explain why Gardner Minshew's year this year may come down to Dave Caldwell having a job. And I'll get to that later on in the show today. It's an interesting stat I want to throw out there. Just some of my knowledge that I know of NFL teams and the way their front offices are ran. But anyways, if you're Dave Caldwell and if you're Doug Marrone, regardless of COVID-19 right now, regardless of, all the distraction with the Black Lives Movement and all this stuff going on right now and trying to keep your guys on the same page, to me right now, it's about bringing in talent that you can point a finger at towards the end of the season and go, you know what? I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for that, and I'm responsible for this, okay? You brought in Chase on. You brought in C.J. Henderson. Now, we don't know how they're going to be their rookie year. But I'm very adamant about saying that I think the reason right now that Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell, or at least a big reason why they were able to keep their jobs, is because of Gardner Minshew. When they met with Shad Khan at Ruth Chris or on the yacht or wherever it was, they said, you know what? I understand right now that our jobs are on the line, but we have Gardner Minshew. We have some intrigue going forward. Let us make it right and let us see this thing through. Perfect. I think Jamal Adams is like that ultimate calling card where if you go after him, if you're Dave Caldwell, and you bring him on the Jaguars, regardless of what happens this year, regardless of how bad the defense is or how good the defense is or how bad the offense is, regardless of all these factors, at least when the season's done, and let's say that you finish with maybe 5 or 6 wins, if you're Dave Caldwell and if you're Doug Marrone, you can point to Shad Khan and say, hey, man, I understand we didn't have that great of a season, and I understand right now we're on a pretty short lease, but look at this, though. We got Jamal Adams, man. Look at how he's going to turn around the culture. Look at his work ethic. Look at how he's going to be a leader for our guys going forward. He's going to be one of the pillars for the Jacksonville Jaguars organization for years to come, all right? All we got to do is give him a new contract, and he's ours for a long time. That's a guy that you can win with going forward. And that's a guy where if you're Dave Caldwell or you're Doug Marrone and you're trying to keep your job, you can point at it and say, I know the season wasn't that good this year, but we got things to be excited about next year. And I think Jamal Adams could be that piece. Yeah, you can go ahead and put Joe Schobert in the mix, depending how Josh Allen does this year. Obviously, depending on how Chason does. I don't know. We'll see how Taven Bryan does. But, like, the whole point of trying to keep your job, especially when obviously the expectations are low, it's to having the things to be optimistic about going forward. And if you bring in Jamal Adams, that's a huge optimistic cog. That's a thing that you can say, you know what, our defense will get better, the excitement's going to be there, and we have an all-pro player, all right? That's something to hang your hat on. So that's why, as opposed to also being one of the best safeties, if not the best safety / edge linebacker when he comes on the line, and being able to stop Derrick Henry, being able to stop Marlon Mack, being able to tackle David Johnson. Besides the stuff on the field, that's why I'm so adamant about Jamal Adams coming to Jacksonville, because he can do so many things for you, not only on the field, but off the field as well. But I'm also a realist, and to sit here and say, do I think Jamal Adams is going to come to Jacksonville? Probably not. But all I know is that if I'm Dave Caldwell and if I'm Doug Marrone and I'm in on this decision-making, and I'm obviously Shad Khan, I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to do my due diligence and do everything in my power to at least put some feelers out there to see what it's going to take to get Jamal Adams in Jacksonville. And it's as simple as that. kind of left you hanging there, Kuz, a little bit. My bad. I don't know what time we're going to break here, but
from First Take to your radio.
Everybody is out because of the coronavirus. All the conditions that are restrictive to one is restrictive to all. And if somebody was smart enough to be dedicated during this time, more so than somebody else, those were probably going to be the champions any damn way. Get over it.
First Take, your take from 1 to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Nobody wants tax problems, and lives have certainly changed in the last couple of months. So let me tell you about J. David Tax Law. They are here to help you and your business with tax debt issues during the pandemic. Tax problems can be stressful, especially right now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. But here's the deal. The programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. That's coming soon. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With stimulus packages being distributed, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. J. David Tax Law only has experienced tax attorneys that will represent you. You want to be able to walk in and talk to someone and look them right in the eye when it comes to your taxes. J. David Tax Law is someone you can trust. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Okay, boss, here's a house. Been watching it all week.
And you're sure it only has a big blue alarm system?
Yep. That means we should have all the time we need.
Yeah, still can't believe Big Blue Alarm is allowing their employees to monitor alarm systems while they're working from home.
Yeah, let's see, how many times do I get distracted when I'm at my house?
Right? Well, let's just hope the Big Blue operator monitoring this house just started binge-watching a TV show.
Meanwhile, right across the street, Safe Touch is still as steady as can be with the fastest guaranteed response time anywhere.
And that is why we're standing on the outside of the house with the Big Blue Alarm.
Just following the Crooks of Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. All right, let's get busy.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Reliant Roofing, Solar, and Hurricane Shutters is pleased to announce its 4th annual Every Shingle Heart Initiative. This year, they will give a free roof to one healthcare worker or first responder in Northeast Florida. The individuals who've been making the ultimate sacrifice over the last several months during the COVID-19 pandemic. Reliant wants to return the favor to someone in these fields. To nominate someone, you can visit their website, reliantroofing.com/Every Shingle Heart. Nominations will open June 15th until July 31st. The recipient chosen will be announced on August 15th, 2020.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has been setting sales records this year and is now expanding to the west side. To staff our new location, we are hosting a career fair Wednesday, June 24th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Holiday Inn on Sumac Road. We will be conducting open interviews for over 40 positions. Bring a valid driver's license and 3 references for consideration. Join our record-setting team at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. We hope to see you Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Holiday Inn on Sumac Road. Jacksonville CJDR is an equal opportunity employer.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN690 and Action Sports Jax. Your smart speaker brings ESPN690 into your home office. All you got to do is say Amazon Echo, Google Home, play ESPN690, and enjoy that succulent sports coverage.
Hi, I'm Chris Berman, and every time I come back to Jacksonville, I listen and watch Action Sports Jax.
I'm concerned about where we are, and I'm concerned because I see that curve is not dramatically going down. You know, there are certainly less deaths than we had when New York got hit so badly. Very painful for me to watch that from a distance. New York did a really good job of addressing it, even though they got hurt badly. They're in a pretty good situation right now. I'm concerned about what's going on in other states, the states in the Sun Belt. So it's a mixed bag. I'm pleased to see that some of the states are doing really well, looking like they're marching towards normality. But I'm quite concerned about the states that still have enough cases now to keep our numbers up.
I think that was Anthony Fauci, Dr. Anthony Fauci, kind of the Joe Rogan of, the COVID-19 talk and everything like that. He is the who's who, and obviously a guy that knows a lot more than I do when it comes to the matter of how to approach COVID-19 and where we go from here with it, and in terms of a vaccine, I know he's talked about hopefully, towards the end of the year that a vaccine would be in play, and I've honestly speak for everybody, and I say hopefully that gets done, because I think that can clear up a lot of things and make a lot more people feel a little more comfortable. Got a couple comments here on the line. Shout out to Al Stewart, man. So Al Stewart, Kuz, down for the 690 Syndicate. As far as our gang, or I don't want to call it a gang, our group name's going to be concerned.
Okay.
But, the way I see it, though, is, we have patches, we have nicknames for everybody. We have meetings, man. This could, obviously not right now because, obviously, the pandemic. But when everything's cleared up, I think we got something here, Kuz. Because, obviously I was on the fence between the 690 Squad and the 690 Syndicate. But the people are speaking, and the people run the show. And if they want Syndicate, well, then Syndicate they shall have. So, unless someone changes my mind, it's going to be the ESPN690 Syndicate.
I'm going to start looking up synonyms for the Syndicate.
So you're saying that you don't like Syndicate?
I don't know why, but I don't like Syndicate.
Why don't you like Syndicate?
I don't know.
Do you know what Syndicate even means?
No, I did have to Google that.
Well, see, that's your first mistake right there then. Yeah.
It doesn't sound as awesome when you know the definition.
You know what? It's not for everybody, Kuz. And if it's not for you, I can go to the bullpen and we'll get another producer up in here, man. I'm just saying, dude. I'm sure Scott, the other producer, would be all about the Syndicate.
He probably would be.
All right. Well, you go and look up some more synonyms, and we'll see if we can find a better name for our, the lifeblood, the fans of our show, if you will. And speaking about the lifeblood of our show, if you want to get your voice heard, man, obviously we're on all social media platforms. We'll try to answer your questions, but also hit us up, *690 and Kuz, watch me do my job here. Okay. 904-362-9901. That's 904-362-9901. Is that the number?
Yes, that's the number.
Boom. Nailed it. Okay, fantastic. I think we got somebody waiting on the line right now. We got Steven. Steven, man, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Hey, I can get behind 690 Syndicate. I can get behind it.
Done. Kuz, what more do you want, man?
Conglomerate.
Hey,
Assassin's Creed Syndicate was one of the better ones, so I can get behind Syndicate.
That might have been where I got it from, or also I think it was Mission Impossible 4, where Tom Cruise was trying to battle the Syndicate. Hey, Kuz, we need some alliteration, like 690
so it has
Syndicate.
To be an S again.
Not 690 Conglomerate. That rolls off the tongue so bad. Anyways, okay. Steven, how you doing, man? What do you got for us today?
I wanted to ask you a question. I know I brought it up before with a lot of the players that we have, a lot of our key players are on their contract year.
Sure.
Once again, hopefully the worst doesn't happen and there is no season.
Yeah.
But when I also talked about running backs, I also looked it up. Armstead, Robinson, and Feaster are the only running backs coming back next year. Yeah. And Chark, Chenault, and Johnson are the only receivers coming back next year. Who could you possibly want to re-sign or the Jaguars think of re-signing if we don't have a season, or who could you see them re-signing?
That's a great question, Stephen. We'll answer that question right now. So I don't have the contracts all in front of me here, but knowing what I know right now, obviously you talk about the running backs, right? Leonard Fournette, his time has come to an end more than likely in Jacksonville. The fact that they try to trade him away, before the season has even started, kind of shows you right now what the organization thinks about Leonard Fournette. But don't get it twisted, though. Leonard Fournette still has a lot to play for this year. He's playing for a new contract someplace else. So the incentive for him to have a ball in season is still there. So take it for what you want there. But as far as guys that I want to bring back, it's a slippery slope because as you go through the list, in terms of productivity, it's lacking, right? But at the same time, you don't want to make the same mistake that Gus Bradley kind of made with his tenure here in Jacksonville, where you literally just clean house, get rid of all the vets and everything. Maybe you have a vet here and a vet here, and you have this super young NFL team, and they're not really ready to take on, the problems ahead. Now, I understand that Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone, they brought in a lot of guys in this past draft who are mature, who are wise beyond their years, who have a high football IQ. So you can build your base and your foundation with those guys going forward from this past draft class. And obviously the prior one, too, with guys like Josh Allen and things like that. I mean, there are a couple guys here that are going to be leaders definitely going forward. But to answer your question, who do I see them, I guess, re-signing or keeping after this year? And it's a great question. And to me, the one guy right now that sticks out to me at wide receiver, and then obviously like Keelan Cole, I think he's going to be gone after the year. The wide receiver, though, that I like that it's a possibility depending on what happens with obviously Gruden and everything like that. But D.D. Westbrook, he's got 3 years right now, going on his fourth year of his fourth-year deal. And I think that if Gruden – what I know about Gruden is this. He loves to spread the ball around, and he loves to work guys out of the slot. He loves to work guys in various formations, and he loves to keep defensive coordinators guessing where the ball is going to go next. And if you take that all into account – you're reminded of, listen, D.D. Westbrook has showed glimpses of being an absolutely brilliant receiver, okay? And I think last year, going into the season, everyone was talking about how D.D. Westbrook was going to be this guy going forward. He was going to be the one receiver. He was going to be the fantasy stud. Well, then enter DJ Chark. It seems like DJ Chark kind of took all the prestige and all the glory that was tied to D.D. Westbrook towards the start of the season. So I understand that wide receiver is a position where you can always kind of reload and you can go after your guys here, go after your guys there. But depending on what kind of season D.D. Westbrook has, who knows? Maybe the guy absolutely balls out. He loves the Gruden's new system, everything like that. And all of a sudden, it's like you can't afford to lose him. Kind of like a la Allen Robinson a little bit. I felt like with Allen Robinson, yes, there was an injury in play there. But with Allen Robinson, you could have kept him. You could have found a way to keep Allen Robinson. And if you do that, who knows what the Jacksonville Jaguars look like right now? So to be truthful here, I don't see a lot of guys that they're going to re-sign when their contracts are up. And I think it's more to say of the type of guys that they drafted and the type of guys that they want to look to going forward. So I don't see a lot of guys, but I guess maybe a D.D. Westbrook, keep your eye on him, but it's not too promising. Hey, I really want to touch on real quick, too, before we go to break here and we talk to Jason Fitz. Kuz, have you seen Tom Brady in the headlines again for, I don't know, maybe the wrong reasons? I'd probably say the wrong reasons, but if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, you're probably all for this. So Jenna Lane, friend of the show, maybe friend of the 690 Syndicate, Kuz, put this on Twitter about an hour ago. The Tampa Bay Times reports that Tom Brady and his Bucs teammates are continuing to work out together despite the NFLPA advising against it on Saturday. I reached out to league offices, and they said players should be following guidelines, including the NFLPA's and the NFL's as well. So what we have here is a case of Tom Brady, who's been to Super Bowl after Super Bowl, who knows exactly what it takes to get there, is disregarding the rules of COVID-19 and saying, you know what? I don't care right now about social distancing. All I care about is a Super Bowl. And this has been my point, Kuz. We can go to break right now, but this has been my point for a long time now. NFL players are not going to abide by these COVID-19 rules. It's just not going to happen. The coaches aren't going to abide by them. The players aren't going to abide by them. And regardless of what you put down on paper and all the experts that you have backing you, those rules aren't going to get followed. Because at the end of the day, it's not about really, if you're an NFL player, staying healthy, obviously, and making sure you don't get it. It's about winning a Super Bowl. It's about hoisting that Lombardi trophy, and it's about doing everything you can do in your power to make sure that your team's ready for the NFL season. So regarding that, are rules going to get broken? Yes. Regarding that, will there be controversy around team doctors saying maybe not reporting all the COVID-19 cases? Probably. But welcome to the NFL. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane of Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
People used to tell me all the time that I sound shorter than I am.
Your voice is like a little higher pitch, so like
probably.
So you think of like Lollipop Guild from Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah. People are like, when you talk, I think you're walking down the yellow brick road, but when I see you,
yeah. Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN690. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, I'm Phil Howard, and they call me Profit Manager here at Cox Media Group because my only focus is to deliver advertising and marketing results for the businesses I work with. Our 8 radio stations and extensive online marketing tools, which include partnerships with Facebook and Google, have done just that for many local businesses. I'm here for you and to help you grow strategically. Call me at 451-2872. That's 451-2872. I want to be your profit manager.
It happens to all of us. That AC unit just starts making some noise, or even worse, it's not working anymore. This is the time of year you don't want that to happen. It's way too hot around here. My friends at Bold City Heating and Air will help. They helped us. It started with a call from my wife, and she said the AC wasn't working. So we jumped on boldcityac.com, and before we knew it, they were at the door. Super friendly customer service, clean, timely, and personal service call. And now we're loyal to Bold City Heating and Air. They took care of my family. They'll take care of your family. It's a big investment in AC unit, but a necessary one. Mirrors at Bold City Heating and Air has built a strong culture, and as a customer, you can feel it. We felt it. The easiest way to start the relationship with an AC company you can trust is to go to boldcityac.com. Have Bold City Heating and Air check out your AC. Right now, it's $25 off and annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it's working efficiently. Good peace of mind at the very least. Visit boldcityac.com. Be bold and beat the heat at boldcityac.com.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool, so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data from the MPD Group Incorporated, Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
From First Take to your radio.
Everybody is out because of the coronavirus. All the conditions that are restrictive to one is restrictive to all. And if somebody was smart enough to be dedicated during this time, more so than somebody else, those were probably going to be the champions any damn way. Get over it.
First Take, your take from 1 to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Hey, it's Goose from Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Charles, good talking to you. Take care, buddy.
Hey, man, make sure you tell your sweet mother. I sent her a text yesterday for Mother's Day. That lady is a saint. Tell your fat daddy absolutely nothing
Okay, thank you, Charles. I appreciate it.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Gonna give me some of that Minshew.
Kuz.
It's unreal.
That's the most impressive thing Kuz has ever done.
Oh, without a doubt.
Here on the show.
That was very nice.
It's the best use of star 690 ever.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Welcome back to ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. I'm Austin Lane, joined, well, really by myself because my co-host Brent Martineau on a little vacay. Skipped school a little early. I'll be doing the same tomorrow for the following week and a half. But needless to say, 2 feet are still in the studio. Don't have a foot in the parking lot. Trying to bring you guys quality sports content of all varieties. And Kuz, let's be honest here, man. We're kind of going back and forth right now about what we're going to call our listening audience. And I'm sitting here on a Tuesday in a tank top doing more for our marketing and our show than our department has done the past year and a half. Because people, and once again, no offense to our marketing department, because I know they do a lot and I don't get in trouble, but let's be honest here. People are buzzing about the 690 syndicate. You don't like it because you don't know what the word syndicate means. That's not my problem. Read a dictionary.
Well, I'm good. I'm on board now. I know what it means now.
Okay. So you're on board, but you wanted to call it something else. So go ahead and go to other names that are on the table that we can call our listening audience real quick.
Well, there's only 2 other S words that you said we had to stick with.
And first of all, we established squad. Yeah, sounds like we're a bunch of cheerleaders. I don't like that. Say that again?
Sorority is an option.
And how do you feel about that?
No.
How do you feel calling our listening audience the sorority? Okay, next, please.
Society.
How do you feel about that?
Society's not bad.
We sound like a bunch of hackers, though. Like the 690 Society.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, like we're wearing like those Guy Fawkes masks and everything. No, it doesn't. It sounds like a bunch of hackers who are going to cause trouble. I like the syndicate. To be fair, though, I mean, if you're a Mission Impossible fan with Tom Cruise, the syndicate was a bunch of people who were assassins who caused trouble. So maybe, yeah, we'll go over it later. But obviously, I got the show out of myself. Brent Martineau left me the keys. Try not to take the car off the road. And I'll be honest, Kuz, the past 3 days of doing the show by myself, man, it's taken a toll on me, all right? I look exhausted. I'm sweating nonstop. And the guy we got coming on right now does his own show every single day, and I have no idea how he does it. Obviously a friend of the show and also a friend of the 690 Syndicate. We got Jason Fitz from First Take, Your Take, man. How you doing?
So, like, what, the 69ers is totally out of the board? Like,
oh, the 69ers! It writes itself.
I mean,
the 69ers. Oh, Cruz.
I mean, 690, 69ers. Come on, like this feels like it was right in front of you guys. I don't know why this was complicated.
I mean, especially you can make T-shirt. Okay. So let's go ahead and rethink our entire creative process here. We're gonna put the 69ers down in the winning category, and we're gonna take a vote. Jason, thank you very much for your contribution.
I have a feeling that'll be a huge hit on the internet too.
I think so. I think it's right in everybody's wheelhouse.
Well, I'm glad that your bosses have to deal with it, not mine. That's all I'm saying. My bad.
Trust me, as if I don't have to deal with my bosses enough as it is, Jason. Now you're giving another excuse, but it is what it is, man. But listen, man, as far as sports are concerned, Jason, there's a lot of things starting to develop a little bit. I want to keep it on the local level for a second, and I'm sure you kind of missed the beginning of the show here, but Listen, I'm one of the biggest Jamal Adams advocates that there is right now. And you're hearing rumors, is he going to the Cowboys? He wants to go to the Buccaneers. All this type of stuff. And Jamal Adams, in my opinion, he is that special player that warrants that much interest. But am I out of the realm of possibility to think that Adam Gase is just going to let Jamal Adams go wherever he wants to?
No, I can't imagine it. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, it's congratulations. He wants to, but let's face it. They have his rights for this year. They have his rights for next year with the fifth-year option, and then they can franchise him. I mean, in theory, they could run him into the ground for 3 more years, and he has no recourse on that other than holding out completely. And at this point, he can't hold out completely for a full year because he's got to get that year a contract in. So, you know, if I'm the Jets, it's going to take a lot to get him away. And that's one thing I think fans have forgotten. Everybody says, well, I want Jamal Adams. Understand, that's cool. You're probably going to have to give up multiple number ones and pay the guy epic money the minute he walks into the training area. So, you know, I think he's worth it. He's a superstar, amazing player that makes any team better, you know, but it's not as easy as just he wants to go somewhere.
Jason, we talked about Tom Brady still working out with his teammates despite the NFLPA's wishes and also the NFL's wishes about, you know, following protocol right now regarding COVID-19. And I've been very adamant about saying, listen, players aren't going to follow the rules. Coaches probably aren't going to follow the rules. What do you think this is going to look like once, you know, assuming that training camp starts on time? I mean, are we going to see a bunch of rules broken, whether it's players not being reported for COVID-19, players not practice social distancing, and how much falls to follow those rules and responsibilities?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. How many safety protocols are in place just to help save players from themselves? Because as you know better than anybody, trying to get a player to turn it off and say, hey, no, it's right for your body here, your mind here, you got to stay safe here. Like, that's difficult to do because it's just not natured in the way players approach the game. Then players come in with a ferocity. You got to hold players back to help them from themselves. I don't understand why we suddenly think COVID-19 is any different, especially given the fact that so many of the NFL players we've seen that have tested positive for it have been asymptomatic. So if you're looking around and you see Zeke test positive for it, but he seems like he's fine, you're going to look at it and say, all right, who cares? Even if I get it, what's the big deal? I'm not saying that's the right logic. I'm just saying that makes sense if I'm a player. So they're really going to have to step in, I think, in front of players and really help players from hurting themselves in these situations. That's easier said than done. So I still think it's alarming, man, that one positive COVID-19 test shut down the NBA and all of sports a few months ago. And now we're seeing dozens of positive tests, and we're like, oh, no, it's cool. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's amazing how our logic has changed.
Well, and especially here in Florida, Jason, where it's like Thunderdome, man. There are no rules here in Florida. Just come as you are. Good luck with that, and hopefully it all works out with you. That's what we got to deal with every single day in Florida. Not trying to get political, but let's call it like we see it. That's how it is. Talking with Jason Fitz right now, author and CEO of the ESPN690ers. Let's just call it like that. Jason, obviously I've been listening to your show a lot now because I've been trying to seek motivation of how to handle a show all to myself like you do. And a question that you kind of raised up a little bit, I thought was a great one. I want to steal from you and get your kind of take on it a little bit. NFL owners right now, right? Shad Khan has been at the forefront, you know, with the Black Lives Movement, helping with protests, things like that, kind of giving his own voice and kind of offering some details of how he feels about the situation. And let's be honest, he's a minority owner. He should. Other owners out there, though, like a Jerry Jones, for instance, hasn't come out and really said anything yet. And obviously players are trying to hold the owners accountable. And I think that even speaks volumes from the standpoint of Jerry Jones being a guy who's very vocal about everything, hasn't spoken yet on the Black Lives Movement, players protesting, all that, which leads me to believe that Jerry Jones right now probably doesn't have a lot of positive things to say. And if he said something that he truly feels, it would probably only hurt his image and his team's image. How do you feel owners should handle right now? You know, obviously the players protesting, and do owners have, I guess, the right, and should they come out and say something?
It's such an interesting question because obviously I just put something out on my Twitter feed. I put a poll out, and 63% of the people, when we polled during the show, said they don't want to hear from their favorite team's owner. And so there's this weird line where, like, where's your obligation? And Stephen A. constantly says Jerry Jones needs to speak. Well, Jerry Jones doesn't answer to Stephen A. He doesn't even answer to his players, who are essentially just employees, right? So who he answers to are his customers. Customers are fans. do fans of the Cowboys really want to hear what Jerry Jones has to say about it? I don't think they do as a whole. Yes, there are some that do, but the vast majority, it's an uncomfortable situation when you realize that you may not align with the views of your favorite owner, or that your favorite owner's views may suddenly put you in a different situation as a fan where you're having to defend it. I was nervous as hell, man. I was nervous as all get out when I saw that Mark Davis had made a statement. And I just thought about, man, through everything I've just celebrated the Raiders through my lifetime for, the one thing I wasn't ready for is, what if we don't align philosophically on this? Now, lucky for me, Mark Davis came out and said, hey, my thinking on this has changed. I want to be a better owner, and I want to stand with my players. I loved everything about that. I'm not sure every fan base wants to hear from their owner, because you don't want to have to start making difficult decisions to not support certain businesses. And that's what a lot of fans would have to do, lifelong fans of the Cowboys, depending on what Jerry Jones says. He's either going to alienate his players or alienate the majority of his fan base. I think that's why he's staying quiet. There's no win in him speaking. But until his fan base demands that he speaks, there's no recourse if he does it. And I don't think Cowboys fans really care that much. So he's sort of in this interesting spot where we want him to speak, and he's laughing at all of us, saying, lucky for you, I don't answer to you.
That's, and that's a really great point that we don't really think about a lot. I mean, obviously, me being a former player, I look at the locker rooms and are like, all right, well, this is the guy that's running the show. We expect him to speak out. But you have to remember who he also caters to, and that's the fan base, right? I mean, Jerry Jones is probably a lot more than just an NFL owner. I'm sure he's got other businesses out there, hence why he has so much money and he's so successful. So that's an interesting point, and also, I guess, how, a lot of people want to do business. So very interesting take there from Jason Pitt's first take, your take. Jason, switching topics here a little bit, and I'll be honest with you, man, I haven't been the most excited about baseball the past month. I can't stand the drama. I can't stand the back and forth. I feel like I'm reading Regina George's burn book from Mean Girls. It's been really ugly, and everyone's kind of been following along with it. Well, supposedly now, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but supposedly baseball is coming back. How excited are you for baseball to come back?
You know what? The 60 games actually has me a little interested, because I'm not a massive baseball fan. Like, I want to see what chaos looks like. I want to see what it looks like when there's games every day and all it takes is one person getting hot and new records can be set. I mean, it feels a little bit like, remember the McGwire Sosa thing? We talked about how that helped people gravitate back to the sport. Maybe a truncated season where it's totally chaotic and nothing's predictable could be something that could help people flock back. I don't know, but for me, there's got to be some way for them to stop the conversation about the money. Although, let's be honest, the new collective bargaining agreement's right around the corner. So this money conversation is going to happen all over again. So if I'm Major League Baseball, I'm hoping for chaos, and chaos could be enough to distract everybody from the money conversation, at least for a minute. So that's what I want to see.
Well, and speaking of chaos, too, and I remember we've talked about it a little bit pre-COVID-19, pre the pandemic, but we talked about how the Houston Astros were going to be embraced by the time the Major League season started. Now, obviously, time has passed. The environment's different. Athletes seem to be rallying around together. Do you think the Houston Astros will still be playing beanball with everybody, or do you think enough time has passed now where it's like, yeah, they're cheaters, but let's look past it. We only have 60 games. Let's make the most of them.
Yeah, I think players at this point are so angry at owners that they've banded together again.
Sure.
And there's this benefit of the Astros that there won't be people in the stands. So what I'm interested in is next season, when people do come into the stands, will baseball fans still be angry about it? I'd like to think yes, they should be, but I don't know. I mean, do the Astros end up being better than lucky than good, right? Like, do they end up getting incredibly lucky that they don't play in front of the hateful audiences that they would have had otherwise were it not for COVID-19? So strange benefactor from all of this would be the Houston Astros.
Jason, got two more questions for you real quick. Kaylin Hill, a player of Mississippi State. And let's go ahead and ring that cowbell for Brent's neighbors back at Jacksonville Beach. Kaylin Hill, Mississippi State, comes out and says that he's not going to play unless the state changes their flag. Obviously, Mississippi, the only state left that still features the Confederate flag as a part of their state flag, and says that he won't play, and he's tired, and he's not going to, put on the Mississippi State helmet and go out there and do his thing. How do you feel about right now the power that a college athlete has, and will we see other athletes kind of follow his stand, whether it's about the Confederate flag or whether it's about maybe like for instance, the Florida Gators right now are kind of deciding whether they have the chant Gator Bait anymore. Doak Campbell Stadium at Florida State may be renamed because of, obviously segregated connotations related with Doak Campbell. So you have all these things happening right now. Do you see more players taking stance like Kaylin Hill's doing?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think the analogy I keep making is it's like the movie Ants, the animated movie where, the one ant figured out like, hey, guys, we don't have to do what we're told to do. We can actually affect our own destiny. Yeah. I feel like college football players have had that ant moment realization in the last, because let's face it, if all the college football players came together from Mississippi State, banded arms and said, you know what, we're not playing unless, the hell are they going to do about it? I mean, there's power to college athletes. Even though they're not unionized, I don't think they've realized that they have, and their voices can be heard. And even if fans turn their back, who cares? I mean, at this point, the college football athletes are empowered, and they realize the power that their voice has and their actions can have. I love it, love everything about it, and I love college football athletes coming together and using their platform for change. And I think we're going to see it, whether it's at Texas or whether it's at Florida, it's at Mississippi State. You're going to see guys step up. And if I'm a high school kid looking at colleges across the country, figuring out where I want to go, I'm keeping a close eye on who's listening to people that have the same, passion that I have for some of these issues, which coaches are speaking out, because it will affect recruiting in the future. I think college football landscape is changing in front of our eyes.
Jason, do you think that Mike Leach comes out and either supports his player or has an opinion about it? Because once again, Mike Leach, a guy who's very opinionated when he has a microphone in front of his face, and especially Mike Leach, a guy who's, he's had some controversial things about him before that have come out. So do you think Mike Leach kind of intervenes a little bit and says something? Because keep in mind, his first year at Mississippi State, probably trying to make a good impression with his university, but also his players.
Yeah, that's the tough one, because does he represent his players or does he represent the alumni that are spending the money on him? You know that as well as anybody, right? Yeah. So the guys that are writing his check. So he's in this weird situation. I would argue this. If he's ever sat in a living room and looked at a parent and said, I'm going to help your son, I'm going to teach your son, we're going to mold him to be a better young man, I stand with your son. If he's ever done all of those cliche things that we hear about college coaches doing, and now he doesn't stand with their sons in this moment, the world will notice. And that's where I think ultimately, the next time he sits in a living room, somebody will say, well, why didn't you stand with the players before? So I think every coach right now across the country that have players that are making a statement, the coach is either going to be standing with them or it'll be noticed that they won't, and that will have equal repercussions.
All right, Jason, I got one last thing for you, man. Now, usually sometimes we end it with a game. Sometimes we end it just with a little bit of a rant here. And I'll be honest, man, the fact that you mentioned ants in this interview here, I mean, I should just let it go on that. Shout out to Dan Aykroyd. I think Sylvester Stallone was in that movie, Ants. And it always gets overlooked because of A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life was all right, man, but Ants, to me, was a real heavy hitter. But I'll be honest with you, man. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with you, and we should probably hash this out right now and address it before I leave for my summer break. All right? And this has to deal with your esteemed colleague, your friend, Mike Golic Jr. Okay? And I'll deal with Mike Golic Jr. when I talk to him next, when I see him next, and I'll get his version of it later. But I'm talking to you right now. So I'm on Twitter, and this is probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was going to bring this up the last time we talked to you, but I completely forgot. Mike Golic Jr. has been a very big advocate on wearing short shorts, okay? Now, here's where I come from. If you're over 6'2", 6'3", you can't wear short shorts, because I have a lot of short friends out there who say that if tall people wear short shorts, it's defeating the purpose. The whole reason why short shorts are a thing is because there's shorter people out there that are like 5'6", 5'7", it makes them feel taller. It's aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like it's a punch in the face. It's a middle finger in the face of short people if tall people like myself and Golic Jr. are wearing short shorts. Well, imagine my displeasure, Jason Fitz, when I saw you support Mike Golic Jr. and his drive to wear short shorts. Your thoughts and your comments.
Look, this is simple. I'm 5'9", right? And I got, amazing legs. Like, I'm just telling you, if I shaved my legs and went around in heels, I could be a leg model. I'm not covering these bad boys up with any more fabric than I need to. Like, the more leg I show, the better for America. And if I'm going to have that level of joy, then Junior deserves it too. I mean, He's got some meaty thighs. I'm just saying, there's a lot of beef right there, but I can't shame him out of it. Like it looks good on him, you know. It's rather look at his legs than his hairline.
But I'm just gonna say this though. Obviously, Mike Golic Jr., former NFL player, man. I think he stands around 6'3", 6'4". He's tall enough. Do you think? And you know, I mean, you're pretty tall yourself, but like, do you think he's doing short people a disservice by being that tall and wearing short shorts? Because once again, haven't short people been through enough? I mean, first it was the Randy Newman song, Short People Got No Reason to Live, featuring the Toy Story thing. And now we're talking about Golic Jr. trying to push the short shorts narrative. Do you think it's a slap in the face to short people?
No, I mean, short people just get a better view of those pasty white thighs. So that's a gift to the country. It's his gift to America.
All right, man. His gift to America. Fair enough, man. Jason Fitz, thanks for stopping on, man. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks, all right?
Stay safe, 69ers.
I'm not going to lie, Coos. I'm surprised we haven't got a call from the boss yet talking about the whole 69ers thing.
I assume silence means we're allowed to.
Okay. Well, maybe they're not even listening. And if that case, we're just going to keep on having some fun. But ESPN 69ers. What do you think, man? Can we work with that?
We certainly can work with that.
Okay, man. We'll see what we can do. We'll talk about it and have something better for the fans out there when we get back here on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy, hot and humid with scattered storms on Tuesday. Highs in the low to mid-90s with an isolated shower and storm early this evening. Otherwise cloudy and humid, lows down in the 70s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, this is Bob Herman. I'm a media consultant with Cox Media Group in Jacksonville. I've been in the business for 30 years. And my success has come from helping you to succeed, whether it's radio, digital, an event, or just offering a consultation. To me, it's about building a partnership and being accountable for doing the best I can for you. If you'd like to find out more, please call me, Bob Herman, at 904-245-8678. That's 245-8678. Let me go to work for you.
Oh, it's hot in Jacksonville. Summer is here. Hotter weather means your family should be drinking more water. Stay hydrated, but make sure you do it in a healthy way. Take care of your family by having clean, purified water. That's what we have in our house. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. And right now, you can get an incredible offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier softener. Call CGC at 904-552-1242. CGC will test your tap water so you can better understand what's in your water. That's important. It's free, and there is no obligation to buy anything. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. And while you're on the website, CGC wants your help to recognize frontline workers. They've been doing a great job. Nominate a worker, and they might get a free RO system. cgcwater.com, serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Where is this water coming from?
Who will deliver us lunch?
Why is the air conditioner blowing hot air? Where can I get a tire fixed?
Do you know someone who can get marker stains out of the carpet?
What do we need to do to get the pool ready?
These and hundreds of other questions are still being asked daily. Will the answer be your business or your competitors? Don't leave it to chance. Let Cox Media Group Jacksonville make you the answer to their questions. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com and let's build Jax.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere for one very specific purpose: The Hunt, starring Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
First Coast No More Homeless Pets Veterinary Hospital provides premium veterinary care for less. 7 days a week, a full range of services with compassionate care. Pet owners shouldn't have to choose between paying bills or a healthy pet. Call 425-0005, 425-0005, or fcnmhp.org.
Nobody wants tax problems, and lives have certainly changed in the last couple of months. So let me tell you about J. David Tax Law. They are here to help you and your business with tax debt issues during the pandemic. Tax problems can be stressful, especially right now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. But here's the deal. The programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. That's coming soon. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With stimulus packages being distributed, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. J. David Tax Law only has experienced tax attorneys that will represent you. You want to be able to walk in and talk to someone and look them right in the eye when it comes to your taxes. J. David Tax Law is someone you can trust. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer, all summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Are you ready to celebrate? Then you need to get to the 4th of July sale and celebrate your freedom to save. It's going on right now at Arlington Toyota. If you're looking for a low payment, then look to Arlington Toyota, where they have over 100 quality pre-owned cars you can buy at 0 down and $199 a month. That's no money down and $199 a month for over 100 pre-owned vehicles. Or how about choosing from 50 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs that you can buy at 0 down and just $269 a month. That's no money down and $269 a month for over 50 pre-owned trucks and SUVs. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everybody approved. You even get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy for total peace of mind. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. What are you waiting for? It's the 4th of July sale going on now at Arlington Toyota. Open extended hours at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/July 4th for full details.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, I'm Phil Howard, and they call me Profit Manager here at Cox Media Group because my only focus is to deliver advertising and marketing results for the businesses I work with. Our 8 radio stations and extensive online marketing tools, which include partnerships with Facebook and Google, have done just that for many local businesses. I'm here for you and to help you grow strategically. Call me at 451-2872. That's 451-2872. I want to be your profit manager.
From First Take to your radio.
Everybody is out because of the coronavirus. All the conditions that are restrictive to one is restrictive to all. And if somebody was smart enough to be dedicated during this time, more so than somebody else, those were probably going to be the champions any damn way. Get over it.
First Take, your take from 1 to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Jackson This Together is not just a hashtag. We believe it, and we are living it, all of us. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. These may be uncertain times, but we can still lift each other up, share a laugh, a smile, and even a shout out. If you would like to recognize someone,
Maybe a healthcare worker, a truck driver, someone who works for a local restaurant, or maybe it's someone's birthday. Call *star 690. Leave a message and we will share it on ESPN 690. That's *star 690. Give it a call and help make somebody's day.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Obviously, the sport that has the most contact, which in this case is football, is something you need to pay attention to and figure out how you can get players to play a season safe and in what particular circumstance. And that's really going to depend in many respects on the status of the outbreak at the time that that season is being played.
Dr. Fauci, Joe Rogan of COVID-19, kind of telling it like it is. And, you know, it's crazy, right? Because as far as progress is concerned right now, from where we were when Rudy Gobert got COVID-19, you know, and then the Utah Jazz players, or two of them came down with it, where we were from that moment to right now, I mean, it's like a decade of difference, it seems like, you know, because we know a lot more about COVID-19 now. You know, as far as the vaccines and the medicine, I mean, there's not much you can do. So there's still progress to make about that. But I think from that first night that we saw the NBA get shut down to right now, obviously we're more comfortable because we know what we're dealing with here, right? And we have numbers to go off of. That being said, though, in terms of numbers, and listen, I'm not going to get political. You can think whatever you want to think of how serious COVID-19 should be taken and all this stuff. But the numbers don't lie right now, okay? And whether it's 30 LSU players being quarantined, I think did you say Zach Goodell said that 11?
Reported 11 Gators tested
yeah,
positive.
and I'll keep in mind, I don't think he said football players, though. It was student athletes. So regardless, yeah. So student athletes, you know, from the Florida Gators have tested positive. And let's be honest, man. Every university is going to have some positive cases in terms of summer workouts. That's just the way it is right now, and that's just the world that we're living in. And we talked about yesterday a little bit, Iowa discontinuing ticket sales right now for their football team. We talked about Kansas State shutting down. Well, now there's been a few more things that have been brought to light regarding, you know, athletes coming down with COVID-19. And one big name, you know, globally, Novak Djokovic. Okay, hosts a tennis expedition or exhibition, I guess you would call it. I think it was in Serbia and Croatia, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure how close those things are together. Didn't really do that good in geography growing up in school, so it is what it is. Please deal with me. But holds like this, I guess it's like a tennis tournament, really. And it was kind of just like a showcase, you know, to celebrate, you know, getting sports back, getting tennis back, and celebrating that. And listen, I'm not sure how Serbia and how Croatia, they do things in those countries regarding COVID-19. But needless to say, Djokovic, who, by the way, I had no idea about this guy's personality. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm not the biggest tennis fan, but if Wimbledon's on, if the U.S. Open's on and Djokovic is playing, dude, I'll tune in and watch him. But it's funny, right? Because we always talk about Hoffa or we always talk about Federer being these big-time names and being these big-time personalities and the swag and the style. And then we got Djokovic, who's just as successful, but is more of like the Terminator. You know, he's more of like that machine-like guy who we don't really know a lot about him. Well, I've learned more about Novak Djokovic in the past probably 20 hours than I've ever knew about him. Fun fact about him, he doesn't believe in vaccines. He's been quoted saying that if COVID-19 was to come out, you know, I mean, if the CDC or whoever else was to release a vaccine for COVID-19, Djokovic wouldn't take it. Interesting is what it is. But the problem that I have with Novak Djokovic, and I think I've said his name right, Kuz, I don't know. You know, it's a hard one. It's the last day on the show for a week. Bear with me, everybody. Holds this tennis tournament. Now, in this tennis tournament, no masks were worn. In this tennis tournament, it welcomed all fans. They were not tested for COVID-19. Djokovic was not tested for COVID-19. And the other players that took part in this tournament were not tested for COVID-19. After the tournament, there's video circulating now of Djokovic in bars, in clubs. It looks like he's at Coachella and just a sea of people dancing on the stage, partying like he's at Tampa Bay for spring break. And once again, no masks. There was no testing. We don't know what's going on. Well, the tournament ends. He flies back home. He gets tested. And guess what? Him and his wife have COVID-19. Not a good look for Djokovic, okay? Not a good look for tennis. How you can justify not testing people, whether it's your fans or you yourself who's hosting the tournament, how you can't justify getting COVID-19 tests, man, what are we doing? But that's not all. Another case. This one's a little more local to Jacksonville. Orlando Pride, great women's soccer team, very celebrated, getting ready to start up a season. Well, the Orlando Pride, a few of their players and staff chose to go out to the Orlando bars. And guess what happened? COVID-19. Now they have to withdraw from starting the season in the league because they don't have a roster or a staff to fill up the need. Once again, probably not the best decision if you're getting ready to start a professional soccer league where you congregate in a bar in the middle of Orlando with a bunch of your teammates and other people. Probably not the best idea. And this is where I'm getting at. We rely so much on professional athletes, and we hold them to a standard of how to go about things, how to do things the right way, how to come across in terms of interviews, how to come across on social media. But here lies the big question. How responsible are professional athletes in showing us how to handle COVID-19? Because let's be honest right now, one of the biggest names in tennis didn't do a great job. The Orlando Pride soccer team didn't do a great job. One could argue right now, Tom Brady going against the NFLPA and the NFL in general is not doing a great job. So once again, and I get right now people are listening and there's a half that thinks, Austin, you're overreacting. It's COVID-19, the professional athletes, everything's going to be okay. And you know what? I absolutely agree with you. But the other part of me wants to go, you know what? They're supposed to be role models of how we're supposed to act as a society, and you aren't taking COVID-19 seriously? If professional athletes who get put on a pedestal aren't taking COVID-19 seriously, how do you expect society in general to take COVID-19 seriously?
Oye, amigo, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
We've talked about this before. When a bank gives you $100,000 by mistake, do not go spend that money because you're going to get into a lot of trouble for it. But an Albuquerque teenager found $135,000 in cash next to an ATM. What would you do, Stugotz?
Finders keepers. The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
We all know Beard's Diamonds has the best price and best selection, but the perks that come after the sale set Beard's Diamonds light years ahead of the competition. Beard's offers unprecedented lifetime warranty on all items, no matter the purchase price.
Our promise to you is to stay committed.
That's Ben, second generation at Beard's Diamonds.
It's not in our blood just to sell you something and forget you. That's not who we are or what we practice.
Beard's Diamonds lifetime warranty is 100% free. Ring sizing?
Free.
Rhodium plating?
Free.
Appraisal?
Free.
Lifetime upgrades?
Free.
Ring cleaning?
Free.
Stone replacement?
It's all free. When you choose Beards, that makes us want to go over and beyond for you. We have 3 jewelers here daily to take care of your needs, and all of the work is done inside the store. Nothing leaves the building unless it's with you.
Beards Diamonds. Open 7 days a week in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Oh, it's hot in Jacksonville. Summer is here. Hotter weather means your family should be drinking more water. Stay hydrated. But but make sure you do it in a healthy way. Take care of your family by having clean, purified water. That's what we have in our house. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. And right now, you can get an incredible offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Call CGC at 904-552-1242. CGC will test your tap water so you can better understand what's in your water. That's important. It's free, and there is no obligation to buy anything. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. And while you're on the website, CGC wants your help to recognize frontline workers. They've been doing a great job. Nominate a worker, and they might get a free RO system. cgcwater.com, serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
At Action News Jax, we tell a weather story that's really built just for you. Most of us have lives that take us out in the elements, for work, for play, or just getting from point A to point B. And that means you need to be ready to get through your day.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Our team of meteorologists didn't go to school just to read you temperatures. We do this so that the people that trust us know exactly what to expect today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Action News Jax First Alert Weather Team. We're here for severe.
The current coronavirus outbreak has caused difficulties for many of our area's small businesses. From losing customers to falling behind in payments, business owners need help. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to help. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. We are currently mentoring virtually and identifying possible financial assistance through the SBA and other resources. Visit jacksonville.score.org for links with more information.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN690.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Ariel Helwani joins us right now at Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Okay, first of all, I appreciate the question and the knowledge because you do a lot of these, radio spots and you get a lot of, sort of uneducated hosts or things like that. So clearly, I know of your background, Austin. I know that you're a fighter, but it's good to get some educated questions, if you know what I'm saying.
The uneducated part will come from me. That's why I'll ask you about golf.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Now, back to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and in the iHeartRadio app.
There's going to be other scenarios. It might be a pregnancy. It might be a sick relative. And players are going to have to make decisions. There are many coming down to the wire here. And I expect there'll be more players, not a significant number, but more that will opt out and will not join their teams. And their teams are able to sign a substitute player, replace them. And once a player is replaced off the roster, he cannot then go back and rejoin his team. His season would be over.
Haven't been a lot of Woj bombs lately, more like Woj truths. And obviously the story with baseball coming back, hopefully. But another big story is the NBA getting back, and setting up shop in Orlando in that bubble with all those amenities, Kuz, man, it sounds like it's paradise. You have your own manicurist if you want it. You're getting pedicures. You're watching exclusive Disney movies, the new Black Widow movie coming on. NBA players got it made. But we were having a conversation, and maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later on the show, is do you see any NBA players that are going to back out of this thing? I mean, there's been a couple guys right now, but no really high-caliber, big-name guys yet who have backed out. But whether it's the Black Lives Matter movement right now where they think that their efforts and time should be there, or whether it's their fear of COVID-19, it'll be interesting to see who exactly shows up to get these NBA playoffs started. But speaking of basketball, and I'm excited, Kuz, I've been excited all day, and I get excited because I get to have great conversations with great people. And the next guy needs no introduction. His energy that he brings should be introduction enough. But we're joined right now by UNF head basketball coach Matthew Driscoll. Coach, thanks for coming on, man.
Austin, I appreciate you having me. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, the thing I thought you were going to talk about is them guys are afraid to play us doubles ping pong. And NBA guys wouldn't be able to play us doubles and ping pong.
So, Coach, let's be honest here. So, in terms of in the UNF locker room, is ping pong big among the UNF players?
So, funny story. Our locker room's not big enough for a ping pong table. We'd always want one, though. Coach Drew's a great ping pong player, Baylor, where I was. But this year we practiced somewhere, and they had these ping pong tables out. So, JT Escobar and I played hand ping pong because we couldn't find any paddles, but we found the ball. Have you ever played that?
Can't say I've ever played hand ping pong before.
Oh, my goodness. It's an incredible workout. It's a lot of fun. And you can use your forehand or backhand at the same time. You see what I'm saying? And you can use both hands.
Okay.
So you can go left this side, right this side. It's actually, it might be a new Olympic sport. And, by the way, there's already 6 feet of distance. So it'll be it's a good one. But, when you talk about kind of some of the things that you're kind of bringing up and how this is kind of going to way it's going to trickle down. I think everything is based on who's going to, the old saying, like who's going to make the first move.
Sure, absolutely.
And as soon as that occurs, then everybody's going to try to go from it and learn from it. So I think everybody's learning right now from the colleges.
Yeah.
What are the colleges doing? How are the colleges doing it? What's transpiring with the colleges? And if you think about it, like Louisville, for instance, they were one of the first teams that came back. And they quarantined their players. They asked them to quarantine for 14 days, and they tested. And I don't know how. I haven't seen them in the newspaper, so they must be doing okay with what they're doing. And then other people do it different ways. But we all have to accept the fact that someone's going to test.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. Percentages are what they are. That's the life of sports. It's all percentages, right?
Absolutely.
So, but what you do with that and the way in which you handle that, not like a person has leprosy. You handle it appropriately.
Sure.
But also, too, I think as individuals, we have responsibilities and accountability that we have to have for the good of our group.
Mm.
So, for instance, we can't be, going out to the party, and we can't be going to, so those kind of decisions have been talked about, that will continue to be talked about. As we look at how this thing is going to work for us when we come back in August and start school as well, too. And the other thing, too, Austin, is we also have to expect that people are going to be human.
Correct.
And there's going to be other people that are carrying it where you could possibly be exposed to it just because of everyday life.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to run and hide and run and hide and run and hide. Like, we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the numbers are the numbers. Just so you know, all the NBA teams are already in Florida.
Sure.
They all have to get acclimated for 14 days. So they're here working out and practicing. And I just talked to a friend of mine who actually worked as one of our former players as a strength coach for one of the Toronto Raptors. And them dudes are going full bore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're being smart. They're being socially alert. They're doing those kind of things, Austin. But, it's a contact sport. Guys are going to touch each other. It's going to happen.
Well, without a doubt. And that's why I've been so adamant about, in terms of NFL locker rooms or college football locker rooms. You can go ahead and put these rules in place if you want. But expecting a team to stay 6 feet away from each other in a locker room, you're absolutely out of your mind if you think teams are going to abide by that rule. It's just not going to happen. And, Coach, I think right now – obviously the biggest worry, at least from my end, obviously, are we going to have football? Is there going to be college football? What are sports going to look like? It's obviously fear of the unknown right now, right? We don't know how it's going to shake out in a week to a month to a year. We just don't know right now. And that can be worrisome to a lot of people. What we do know right now, and this actually got aired today a little bit, this came out of the Patriot League. So I'm not sure if you've heard this yet, but the Patriot League has actually banned air travel for all their student athletes in terms of their sports programs from traveling to away destinations. So now that they're required to take buses and things like that, they're banned from using air travel unless it's a huge set of circumstances. How do you feel about that? And do you think other schools are going to kind of follow notice now where it's like, hey, if you guys have a long road trip, you're taking that bus because you're not taking the plane?
So there's a lot of information that I'm privy to, that I understand, and I know that's kind of going on because everybody's leagues. The one great thing, Austin, is everybody's talking to each other.
Yeah.
Usually in this profession, everybody's got the biggest secrets in the world, and you know what I mean? And no one's going to get to play, and no one's going to learn about it. But everybody's talking, and trainers are talking, strength coaches are talking, ADs are talking, presidents are talking, and our league is talking. But something you said specifically there that I don't think people understand is the Patriot League made a decision that nobody was going to fly.
Correct.
I think in most leagues, it's going to be school by school.
Okay.
It's going to be based on whatever your school deems appropriate or your school deems is necessary. And it might be something like this, Austin. It might be no one can travel until January 1st, kind of give you time to figure out exactly what it's going to be. Or it might be, no one can travel at all. Or you can only travel, like, for instance, there's teams like us that have to bring in large sums of money. That large sum of money is huge for our department as they function on a daily basis.
Sure.
So now you have to say to yourself, okay, what do we do with those scenarios, and how do we handle those scenarios? Mm-hmm. And again, the way in which you do it, the way in which you go about it, the way in which your protocols are, and all those kind of different things. But the Patriot League, that's a league rule that they decided. This is what you got to do. This is how you're going to do it, and every team's doing it like this. So you have to look at it. Every league is going to have a different the way they're going to address it based on the schools. Like, for instance, at our level in our league, whether or not you're going to allow athletes to come back for summer. Mm-hmm. So that was a big conversation. Well, our league is left up to every individual institution. So some institutions are back on campus. Some institutions, kids are coming back on campus to go to summer school, and they can work out. And July 20th is when the basketball workouts are allowed to begin, the non-voluntary ones. So again, who's allowed to do it? How are they allowed to do it? So I think it goes back to what I do know this, Austin. There's some people that are putting up plastic screens in their locker rooms.
Wow.
So you're talking about, and here's the other thing too, Austin, that people aren't really grasping either. Like, there's a monetary situation involved too.
Well, of course. I mean, I think one would say that the reason why college football is getting a main push right now, the reason why NFL is getting the push is because the monetary value related with it.
And also too, that those places have more money that they can do certain things and do certain different deals.
Yeah.
Everybody's listening to the CDC. Everybody's listening to the WHO. Everybody's listening to people. And the crazy thing is, Austin, is you're gathering this information day by day by day by day by day. Mm-hmm. So go back to what you said earlier too. Something that we talked about the last time I was on is, I think if you go back and play it, Austin, I think I told you guys July 1st is really going to give us a clear indication where we are moving forward. Because you guys called me because the rule just came out. The rule just came out that June 1st you could start voluntary workouts.
Yeah.
So you guys had me on to talk about that. I think it was Memorial Day weekend.
Correct.
So when you think about that, we're probably right there. What, we got one more week until July? What are we, a week away from July 1st? Yeah, we're a week away from July 1st.
Yeah.
So these schools, what they're doing, Djokovic's party, that's a bad thing.
Absolutely.
That's a bad thing. How some schools are doing well, and how do we learn from all this stuff? So I guess, I don't know. I just know one thing, that getting all them new Disney movies ain't bad.
You're not lying, man. Talking to you, and I've had basketball coach here, Matthew Driscoll. And you know what, Coach, I got one more kind of question related to the whole COVID-19 thing quick, and then we'll change gears a little bit here. But obviously, being a coach, a big part is about recruiting, and a big part is getting guys on campus, showing them around. But obviously, I think a big part from your standpoint is it's displaying that energy. It's showing off your personality, not only to that player that you're trying to recruit, but also the family. Well, let's be honest right now. You can't do that kind of stuff. Sure, you can go on Zoom and you can go on Skype and everything, and you can try to purvey that on social media, but it's not the same thing as seeing somebody in person. And you obviously know that. But I guess my question is, how hard is it right now on the whole recruiting trail? I'm not sure when the times are, but how hard has it been trying to get players to the university, obviously, and trying to talk them into becoming a UNF basketball player?
Well, first of all, that's a great question because for someone like me, it's been very difficult, and I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
And I had a meeting the other day with someone, and they basically said to me, "Hey, coach, don't take this wrong, but." So I have to mentally get over that, Austin. Yeah. I gotta forget about that. Like, I gotta just walk up to people now and just stop, almost like Vanilla Ice, stop, collaborate, listen. Vanilla Ice is on a brand new edition. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
A1A, Beachfront Avenue, I hear you.
You know what? That's the best part of the song because I still sing that.
You better believe it.
But he knew about Jacksonville. He knew about UNF way before. But that part of it. So I talked to this kid I offered a scholarship to, and I felt like it was awful. And his dad, I grew up with his dad. His uncle was my best friend growing up, and I felt awful because he was like sitting there on the phone and sitting there on the Zoom and sitting next to his mom, and it was like I was like, holy cow, would this thing be a whole different level? And then to fast forward that, we had a kid commit to us the other night. So I took the phone. I went out on the street. I was standing next to the gas station
sure.
on A1A, and as soon as he committed, I gave out an incredible "Let's go" that you could hear all the way through Jack's speech. And I told him. He started laughing. I said, "Listen now," I said, "you got to understand something now. It's hard. It's hard for us right now as recruiters and for us as a profession.
Yeah.
Like, this is our professional life."
Yeah.
It's our professional life. It's our livelihood. And that's a difficult thing to do. You're 100%. You can have all the videos and all the little quirks and all the little signs and the backdrops. And by the way, Wawa's got backdrops. They got all the little deal. You can have all, but it's your message is still your message, like
of
what
course.
you have to offer and that. But what you said is so critical because the people they're reading your body language. You're reading their body language. You're 100% right, Austin. It's definitely changed the landscape. And the other thing, too, is no one can have anybody on campus till August 1st.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
So even if your school has guys coming back for football or, coming back volunteer or whatever,
yep.
that doesn't mean you can have recruits. So it's definitely different.
Coach, I got one more question for you. We're kind of behind it right now, but I have to get this question in, and I appreciate you coming on the show. I wish I could talk to you for 3 hours. Maybe we have to get our own podcast going because it's always great conversation with you, man. But real quick, so you mentioned the message, and once again, you bring the passion, you bring the energy, and you're very in tune with the players that you have in that locker room. And I'm such a big fan of college sports and professional sports because to me, it mirrors society. There's guys that are black, there's guys that are white, there's guys of every single color, and there are different backgrounds. They grew up in different areas of the world, right?
Yeah.
And right now we're at a time, where obviously tensions are tough and times are tough. You see it all over social media. It really started out with George Floyd a couple weeks ago, and now we're here and we're seeing progress. We're seeing change. But my only question to you is, what are those conversations right now with your with your players? What are they like?
Well, first of all, they've been wonderful, and a couple of our guys had some really good ideas that I didn't even think of. They were really cool ideas. And the other thing is this, Austin. I tell this to our guys all the time. Look, you don't judge me because you don't know me. You don't know where I came from. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm standing up here and I'm some white dude and I'm the head basketball coach, there's only 353 of me in the whole country. Like, you can't look at me and say, well, this guy's this and this guy's that. Like, you don't know what I grew up with. You don't know what my household was like. You have no idea where I came from. The only thing you know is that when you squeeze my heart, this is what you're going to get. That's what you know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to treat you the way you should be treated, and you're going to treat me the way I should be treated. And if we have that understanding and that respect for each other and the openness to communicate that and talk about it, I saw a lady yesterday that it was crazy on video. Like, this lady literally told someone, I'm going – like, this is the thing that people just don't get. Racism is a taught act. It is a taught act, period, period. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'm going to continue to teach my grandchildren to hate. Like,
wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And if we just take a step back and don't walk up and say, well, okay, so you're black and I'm white, and walk up and be like on eggshells.
Correct.
Come on, man. How do you be on eggshells?
Well, and at the end of the
Man,
day,
you don't know me and I don't know you. You're a human being. I'm a human being. Let's just kick it and figure it out.
Exactly, man. And that's well said, Coach. And it's been something that I've been preaching. I think Brent Martineau would share my philosophy here. To me, it's not even a black and white issue. It's a right or wrong issue. And I think if people get that through their heads, it's going to be a lot better for, just the landscape of society.
There's a lot of black issues now. There's a lot of issues that deal with particular race.
Yeah, no,
there definitely is that.
No, without a doubt. And to be fair, and those things are obviously wrong. So once again, I mean, whether you're black or you're white, I mean, I think it takes everyone to kind of rally together and support each other, and it's more of a right versus wrong thing. But head coach, UNF head coach Matthew Driscoll.
Hand ping pong, hand ping pong,
man. Hashtag hand ping pong. Let's get it going, man. Let's see the Olympics.
Let's go.
I like it, man.
Right,
thanks,
brother.
Coach. Take it easy, all right?
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Celebrate your freedom to save at the 4th of July sale going on now at Arlington Toyota, where you'll get more bang for your buck on every new Toyota Arlington's got. And they've got a lot of them. During the 4th of July sales event at Arlington Toyota, you can get 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. That's 0% for 60 months on 10 new Toyota models. Leave it to Arlington Toyota to do their 4th of July sale right, because they're giving you no payments until 2021 on your new Toyota purchase. Yes, no payments until 2021 on your new Toyota. And with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. It's the 4th of July sale going on now at Arlington Toyota. Open extended hours, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/new July 4th for full details. If you don't have Safe Touch monitoring, there's a good chance your system is getting monitored from someone's home. Yes, work from home has come to the security industry, but not at Safe Touch Security. At Safe Touch, that is totally unacceptable and doesn't meet UL requirements. At Safe Touch Security, our monitoring center is committed to maintaining our high standards. The only guaranteed response in the alarm industry with an incredible 8-second average. And our two-way communicator provides the very fastest response from the emergency authorities for burglary, medical, and fire. And the Safe Touch crash and smash technology detects crime before it enters the property. Our halo of protection and Safe Touch cameras report crime before it happens many times. And every Safe Touch security system is custom designed for you and comes with our exclusive Safe Touch parts and labor agreement at no charge. Safe Touch security systems have a guaranteed response and are installed by real professionals. Know you and your family are safe and protected the right way. Go to safetouch.com right now for more information. Safe Touch, doing what others can't for over 35 years. State license number EF0000233.
It's time for some straight talk. Even though most live sports are on hold now, big wireless companies haven't stopped playing games. They're always trying to lock you into overpriced contracts. With Straight Talk Wireless, there are no contracts. It runs on America's best network, same as the big carriers, but you save up to 50%. $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. You might miss sports, but don't play games, you'll lose. Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no compromise.
Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
From faulty breakers to broken windows to leaky pipes, roofs, and water heaters, homes and businesses around the country can't work until the pros do. That's why Lowe's created credit programs that work for pros. With everyday 5% savings on eligible purchases, plus through October 31st, 60 days promotional financing on your Lowe's business account or extended terms on eligible account receivables. Learn more in-store or online at lowesforpros.com. Putting money back in your pocket. Just one more reason Lowe's is the new home for pros. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats.
Judge Judy is set to end after the show's 25th season, but that doesn't mean Judge Judy is going away. The Mega Millionaire syndication queen will begin production on a new show called Judy Justice.
Oh, you know who made the decision? Viacom. They're clearing her off the books to make room for Romo.
It's a good guess.
Cap space.
You want more from the Dan Le Batard Show? Check out the podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
Brent Martineau,
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane,
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
This is probably the most badass moment right here. It's been tough. It's been hell, really. I wouldn't say hell. It's just been hectic, carrying his weight and carrying his burden. I wouldn't really say burden either. I'm proud to stand where I'm at and carry a new face. Look at this. First time's right here from Atlanta. That is so
cool. Bubba Wallace, man.
I was supposed to be at that race.
Really?
They were supposed to do a bachelor party because that race was supposed to happen in April.
Right, Talladega. Did you guys end up doing something else for the bachelor party or not?
If they did, they didn't tell me about it, so possibly.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. That was Bubba Wallace as he finished 14th at Talladega, which is, listen, super impressive. Obviously, he led a little bit of that race, Kuz, you're telling me. Unfortunately, I was at training, so I couldn't watch the entire race. But a lot on that guy's mind, to say the least. All right, let's just put it like that, and we'll see what happens, with the whole noose thing in his garage and things like that. But obviously, if anything positive can come, and it will come from this, it's the fact that the image that's going to stick out to me, it's not about who won the race, because honestly, I can't even tell you who won the race, and that's bad on my part. Sorry, everybody. Kuz, you want to get that information real quick? But the image to me that is going to be lasting is, every single pit crew and every single NASCAR driver helping push Bubba Wallace's car to the front in solidarity, in unity, and obviously them just saying, you know what, whatever happened, it happened. It's unfortunate. It happened in our house, but we're going to move on from it. We're going to get better, and it's not going to happen again. And we support Bubba Wallace. And I think right now, if you're investing in NASCAR, it's probably one of the hottest sports out there right now.
I would definitely say the same thing. I also think what I thought was kind of cool with it, and I think Golick and Wingo were talking about it earlier this morning here on ESPN690. They were saying, it shows that even in a sport where you're kind of your own team in a way, it's still a brotherhood. It's still like football, right? When you're against one, you're against all of us type mindset.
Yep. And by the way, Ryan Blaney won the race, by the way, Kuz. Don't worry.
I had it up, but
I can do your job for you. It's all good, man. I'll do your job for you. It's not a big deal. It's all good, man. But, yeah, man, props to Bubba Wallace. And you know what? You just keep doing your thing, man. Just know you got a lot of support coming from a lot of people. And, overall, NASCAR's moving in a new direction. And you know what? It's probably for the best. So shout out to Bubba Wallace. Kuz, geography class. Obviously didn't pass it, huh? During the break here. And listen, far be it for me to call you out and put you out in the spot. I've never done that before on this show. But during the break, Kuz brings up a question of, well, it was more of a statement of kind of asking me what I thought. It was the state of Florida. It was literally a map, and this was supposedly to some numbers. Every state's who has been the most popular fast food chain since the pandemic.
In the coronavirus pandemic, yes.
In the coronavirus pandemic. So Kuz asks me what I think Florida is. Obviously, I say Chick-fil-A because we're in the South. Ding, 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 ding. I then proceed to go, hey, Kuz, what does Wisconsin have? And Kuz, don't embellish it.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I have no idea where Wisconsin is.
How old are you? How have you made it this far?
Listen, literally, like the West Coast states, for the most part, start to blend together other than like North and South Dakota. For whatever reason, I know where they are, obviously. They're like the dead center.
When I talk about Wisconsin, though, do I ever say back out west or do I say up north?
You say up north, but I thought you were talking about Montana. I really thought you were talking about Montana.
I am so triggered right now. You have no idea. And then I tell you, look for the glove. Wisconsin is the shape of the glove, and you still couldn't do it because you can with Michigan and Minnesota. And I know. Okay.
It looks. I got what you were saying with the glove, but it kind of looks like the middle three fingers got cut off. You know, if it was a glove, like someone was giving like the surf sign almost.
Shaka bra.
Yeah.
So you think Wisconsin's giving a shaka bra?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm not mad at that. That could be a T-shirt idea.
It's kind of what it looks like.
That could be because it's kind of like the old school Milwaukee Brewers logo, right? So I'm not mad about that. Okay, well, regardless though, your geography sucks. Excuse me, your geography sucks, and get better. Okay, from now on, know where Wisconsin is. All right,
well,
I'm from there.
It really took me a year and a half of this show.
Pennsylvania is for you, so you have to know where Wisconsin is.
Yes.
Deal?
Fine.
All right.
Pennsylvania's like the easiest one.
You'd be surprised, man. And by the way, too, Wisconsin's was Culver's. By the way, if you don't know what Culver's is, do you know what Culver's is, Coos?
No, like you said, I didn't know.
Let me tell you, man. You get a butter burger with cheese, and a butter burger is exactly what it sounds like. It's two all beef patties, only the finest cuts of beef coming from Culver's, and they fry them in butter. And then they put it on top of that Wisconsin cheddar cheese. And you know how Wisconsin does cheese. Don't let those stupid California commercials fool you. California doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to cheese, even though you see it all the time. Good cheese comes from good California cows. No. Absolutely not. If you just watch the stream, I just made a derogatory gesture that I'm probably going to get in trouble with, but whatever, right. I'm that passionate when it comes to cheese.
I was going to say maybe don't call yourself out for it. No one would know, because if Nick's listening, he's just listening.
That's a good point.
No audio. Now he's going to have to go back.
That's a good.
I don't have a dump button for the video.
I don't know if you saw that gesture or not, but California, stay in your lane when it comes to cheese, all right? Wisconsin's going to handle it from here. All right, well, let's go ahead and segue a little bit, Coos, here. And I teased it during the first hour of the show, and I finally want to get into it right now. And this is revolving more about Dave Caldwell and how I feel the season's going to be perceived. Now, once again, I know COVID-19, we don't know what's going to happen, all this stuff, and I hear you. But what did I say yesterday? If you're going to go back and play the show yesterday, the biggest thesis that you should take away is that there should be no excuses for how a team performs, and coaches should still be accountable. Now, yes, star players might go down here, might go down there. I understand that. But it's a coach's job, more than anything, to get his players ready and to adapt to the situations at hand. Well, if you're a head coach this year of an NFL team, your colors are going to show, man, because you have a lot on your plate right now, and I don't envy you, but I'm just saying this is where you make the big bucks. This is where you make the Mike Tomlin bucks when you lose Big Ben Roethlisberger, you lose Smith-Schuster for a little bit, and you lose James Conner, and you still go 8-8. This is where it's your chance to shine or your chance to burn. So with that being said, we also have to bring up the GMs, right? And obviously, right now, the way the Jacksonville Jaguars sit, you have Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell are on an extremely short leash. And depending on how you feel about, well, are they going to get a mulligan for this COVID-19? I don't buy into that at all. I still think that every win is important for the Jacksonville Jaguars going forward, regardless of what the roster looks like. I don't care. And if you're a Jaguars fan, you should be thinking the same thing. I don't want to hear these tank for Trevor things. I don't want to hear, it is what it is. They got some players out. Let's just go ahead and get a really good first-round pick, and we'll go from there. That's a loser's mentality, and I'm never going to have a loser's mentality on this show. So we're just going to agree to disagree on that point if you think that the Jaguars should tank for Trevor. With that being said, though, in the GM position, I think it's important to be brought up right now because, once again, Dave Caldwell on a short leash, obviously. And to me, with everything that I know about football and everything that I know about the intricacies of a front office, to me, the GM is tied to two things. Obviously, a GM's tied to winning. I mean, that's a given. But to me, it's more of a head coach's job, right? If a head coach doesn't win games, well, then he's gone. Simple as that. If he wins games, he gets retained. I mean, that's football 101. With the GM, though, it's a little differently. Like, yeah, winning games could be important, but to me, you tie the GM to two things. You tie him to the success of the first-round draft picks, and you tie him to the success of the quarterbacks that he brings in. Okay? So with that being said, let's go back right now on Dave Caldwell's 8 seasons and see what he's brought to the table so far. First round picks. Luke Joeckel. Second pick overall, I believe not in the NFL anymore. Obviously not a good pick. Wasn't a good draft, don't get me wrong, but he's not in Jacksonville anymore. Next year, Blake Bortles with the third pick of the draft. We know how Blake Bortles worked out. Had maybe one good year in 2017, helped get the Jaguars to an AFC Championship game, but let's be honest right now. Blake Bortles, not on the Jaguars. Blake Bortles, not on a team right now in the NFL, and is probably on the back nine of his career. And also, Blake Bortles got offered a contract extension when he didn't have to get it, okay? So once again, that's another minus for Dave Caldwell. Dante Fowler the next year, first-round pick, taken number 3 overall. To me, this one can go either way because Dante Fowler, obviously, his first year gets hurt in the spring. Now, that's not Dave Caldwell's fault, and that's not even really Dante Fowler's fault. That's nobody's fault, man. And I'm sick and tired of people that want to blame injuries and say, oh, he's injury-prone. No, sometimes injuries just happen. It's the way of the world. And to be fair, I wouldn't really call Dante Fowler injury-prone because, well, he had a good season last year and just got his money in Atlanta. But you took him with the 3rd overall pick, doesn't play the first year, so just scratch that because it's an injury. But also, he's not on your team anymore. He's gone. He's now in Atlanta. You traded him away to the Rams, and now he's in Atlanta. So, Dante Fowler. Obviously, I would probably call it a minus because I get you got stuff for him, but at the same time, he's not here anymore. Jalen Ramsey, 5th overall pick. Not here anymore either. Now, when he was here, All-Pro, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Kind of put the Jacksonville Jaguars on the map in terms of swag, demeanor, and what that defense brought. Great pick. But once again, my point is he's not here. Now, you got, eventually 2 first-round picks for him. You essentially got Chase on with him this year. We'll see next year. We don't know how Chase on's going to be yet, but we can assume he's going to be an animal, but we'll see, right? So right now there's a lot of question marks revolving, well, was Jalen Ramsey a good pick? The fact that he's not here anymore and what you got for him, kind of a big question mark. So I'm not going to give that even a minus. I'll just give that a question mark. We'll see. So I'm not going to count that against Dave Caldwell because, once again, when Jalen Ramsey was here, he was successful. Leonard Fournette, pick number 4, first round. Obviously, there's 2 sides, I think, to Leonard Fournette right now. A majority of the Jaguars fans want him gone, okay? Or just think that, you know what, it's time to move on from Leonard Fournette. And then there's a smaller group that says, you know what, Leonard Fournette's still a damn good running back, and we can still get a lot of stuff out of him. Maybe they bring him back. I fall on saying, listen, anytime you have a dependable back that you can pound the rock with, I'm a fan of. And obviously, I think Leonard Fournette has kind of turned over a new leaf in terms of how he approaches the game, how he approaches the offseason, and what kind of leader he is. So Leonard Fournette, to me, does a lot of things great. But I'm also a realist, all right? And the Jacksonville Jaguars try to trade him away during the NFL draft. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I mean, it is what it is. I would have kept him at least this year, but needless to say, he's going to be on the team. But needless to say, he's going to be gone next year. So once again, your first-round pick that you drafted, running back, has been pretty productive, obviously led the team in receptions last year, which is crazy, and was a big part of the Jaguars going to the AFC Championship game. First-round pick. But guess what? He's not going to be here next year. So how successful was that pick at where he was taken at number 4? Once again, I think I'm just going to go question mark. Taven Bryan, pick number 29. It was a luxury pick. And I get it. And I get that when you have luxury picks, you build your defensive line. I love it. Tom Coughlin did the same thing in New York. Not mad at it. But to be fair, and I think a majority of Jaguars fans would agree with me right now, has Taven Bryan lived up to being a first-round pick? Probably not. He has a chance to prove himself this season, and we'll see. This will be a big make-or-break year for Taven Bryan. But overall right now, once again, there's a lot of questions to be had. So, I'm giving a question mark, okay? Not giving a plus, not giving a negative, just a question mark. Let's see how he does this year. And obviously, the last pick that we know of, obviously C.J. Henderson this past draft, and Chase on, I mean, to be determined, obviously. But the last pick, Josh Allen, pick number 7. So far, so good. I mean, guy has over 10.5 sacks his rookie year. Going forward, he's probably one of the most intriguing players in the entire NFL. Of course, Josh Allen is a plus. How could he not be? And that's after one season. Now, assuming Josh Allen performs well, stays healthy, knock on wood, and hopefully resigns here and is a fixture in this Jaguars locker room and this culture for a long time to come, we will see. But to me, I'm so impressed with Josh Allen's maturity and his productivity that I'm giving Dave Caldwell a plus after one season on Josh Allen. So what does that mean, really? Okay, well, that means that right now I just said a lot more minuses than I did pluses in terms of the track record of Dave Caldwell's drafting experience. Now, what else did I say? I said when we tie a GM success, we tie it to two things. We tie it to the first-round draft picks, and we tie it to the quarterbacks. Well, let's go over the quarterbacks really quick. I'm not going to give him the whole Blaine Gabbert struggle because Blaine Gabbert was kind of on his way out already. That wasn't Dave Caldwell's doing. Dave Caldwell's doing was drafting Blake Bortles at pick number 3. And then also giving him a contract when he had a good season back in 2017. Say what you want about that, but obviously it wasn't a good look. Blake Bortles is not here anymore. Blake Bortles might be out of the league, and Blake Bortles got the extension. Minus. You bring in Nick Foles. Listen, I was adamant about bringing in Nick Foles. I thought he was going to be the best free agent signing at the quarterback position. I think a lot of people thought that, right? And how could you not? The guy led the team to a Super Bowl MVP. He's respected amongst his peers and his teammates and his coaches. Everybody had such good things to say about Nick Foles. Well, let's be honest. He comes to Jacksonville. He has a glimpse, a sparkle of hope and intrigue, and it's taken away in the spark of an eye because he got hurt. Okay? And when he comes back, the table is set for him, and he can't come through. Needless to say, after all the money that you've given him, which I'm not mad at because once again, I thought it was a good pick at the time, but needless to say, after the season, Nick Foles, not the starting quarterback anymore, and thankfully you find a desperate team like the Chicago Bears that are willing to take him off your books. Enter Gardner Minshew now. And this is my point where I'm talking about the job security right now of Dave Caldwell and how I'm tying this to Gardner Minshew. If Gardner Minshew doesn't have a great season, and then don't get it wrong, I mean, I understand right now, a lot on Gardner Minshew's plate, right? He has to secure a job for himself, number one. He has to learn a brand new offense with this pandemic and this landscape of never really having met a lot of his teammates yet, number two. And he's literally got the hopes and prayers of at least half the fan base saying, you got to be the guy going forward. Okay, so there's a lot of pressure on Gardner Minshew. But I'm also going to tie in the job security of Dave Caldwell. And here's why. I just said that the success of a GM should be dictated by his first-round picks, which I just went over, and his quarterbacks. And if you're going in, so assuming how this season goes, but let's say next year, you're going into your 9th year, and you're on your 4th quarterback, I don't know, man. Not a good look, okay? And I think a lot of GMs out there, let's be honest, it's a cutthroat business. A lot of GMs have been fired for less. So while people are out there trying to say, tank for Trevor, let's see what Justin Fields has to offer, not believing in Blake Bortles, yeah, just tank for the season. Okay, man. And if people want to believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars organization is actually tanking when they let go of A.J. Bouye and Calais Campbell, okay, man. But all I'm going to say is if you're Dave Caldwell right now and you have all your chips in the pot and they're all on Gardner Minshew and Gardner Minshew doesn't come through like you hope he does, how's it going to look when you're on your 4th quarterback in 9 seasons? Probably not so good. So that's why I'm going to say I think Dave Caldwell, I think Doug Marrone are relying on Gardner Minshew to be the guy. They need Gardner Minshew to be the guy. The organization needs Gardner Minshew to be the guy. And now the biggest question, and it's the $1 million question of this up-and-coming season, can indeed Gardner Minshew be the guy?
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Scattered showers and a few storms ending early this evening, clearing later tonight as temperatures drop into low to mid-70s. Some fog to begin, partly sunny, and we'll see midday and afternoon showers and storms redevelop with highs 90 to 95. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you.
Okay.
Then you need to be online where they look for you.
Online, huh?
Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for all that. I need to run my business. Alexa, can you help me find someone that can help me with online marketing?
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level so you can get back to running it. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Response to Diamonds Direct's incredible free finance offer has been amazing. People are driving for hours to take advantage of 5 years zero-interest financing with nothing down. But listen, these are the final days. This aggressive offer ends on June 30th and will not be extended. So don't wait another minute. Get to Diamonds Direct now. Pick any item. Get the unbeatable price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. It's the smartest way to buy, and it makes everything more affordable. An $8,000 designer engagement ring is just $134 a month. You can even finance the sales tax. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, one-of-a-kind designer pieces. Everything's included. But there's one catch. This is a limited time offer and it ends Thursday, June 30th on approved credit. 5 years, zero interest, nothing down, nothing held back. Exclusively at Diamonds Direct.
There's a new, modern, patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge.
We're in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by StarStar, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing StarStar Mobile from your mobile phone. That's StarStar Mobile.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere for one very specific purpose: The Hunt, starring Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Boss, check out this headline in the Crooks R Us newsletter. Big Blue Alarm now allowing contact center employees to work from home.
Whoa, all of them?
Not quite. Says 88% of Big Blue employees are working from home.
Wonder if their customers know that the people monitoring their alarm are probably sitting at the kitchen table in their underwear.
Hey, maybe that's one of the reasons Big Blue doesn't have a guaranteed response.
That is an excellent point. Too bad Safe Touch Security isn't more like Big Blue Alarm.
Wishful thinking, boss. Listen to this. Safe Touch Security still leads the way with the fastest response time in the industry. Boss, how do they do it?
Doesn't matter. We still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Do that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now, more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, this is Bob Herman. I'm a media consultant with Cox Media Group in Jacksonville. I've been in the business for 30 years. And my success has come from helping you to succeed, whether it's radio, digital, an event, or just offering a consultation. To me, it's about building a partnership and being accountable for doing the best I can for you. If you'd like to find out more, please call me, Bob Herman, at 904-245-8678. That's 245 8678. Let me go to work for you.
Nobody wants tax problems, and lives have certainly changed in the last couple of months. So let me tell you about J. David Tax Law. They are here to help you and your business with tax debt issues during the pandemic. Tax problems can be stressful, especially right now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. But here's the deal. The programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. That's coming soon. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With stimulus packages being distributed, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. J. David Tax Law only has experienced tax attorneys that will represent you. You want to be able to walk in and talk to someone and look them right in the eye when it comes to your taxes. J. David Tax Law is someone you can trust. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
This message is brought to you by Community First Credit Union.
Stop for a minute. Take a breath. Jacksonville is going to be just fine. For our businesses, our schools, our neighborhoods, our beaches, our lives. All of us at Community First realize that no one has all the answers to what we're facing. But after more than 80 years in Jacksonville, we do know this. Things get better when people stick together. So we'll get through this to a better, brighter future in Jacksonville.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Call Zero Res. They are offering to clean and protect every surface in your home for 25% off. Also nominate a family in need, and Zero Res will clean the carpets in one home each day for absolutely free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 podcast. Just search ESPN690 in your podcast app.
Golic and Wingo.
LeBron James, of all people, is tweeting about it. He said, listen, I know I don't play baseball, but I am in sports. Stop right there.
Sports is the game, LeBron's the name. I work in the business, see?
Now you listen to me, baseball commissioner. I'm going to tell you something right now, Sonny. There's going to be some high, hard chin music coming to those Astros players, so you better make sure you take care of what's needed to be taken care of, because otherwise those players will take it into their own hands.
Making tires out of rubber now.
There you go.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Yeah, Bertans, and you'll see it with some of the players who are considering this. He's had 2 ACL surgeries in his past. He's up for his biggest payday as an NBA player, and the Wizards are behind him on this. They want to keep him. They want to re-sign him. But certainly other players, injuries, contract extensions, social justice, different family considerations. There are a lot of reasons why guys are going down to the wire here thinking about whether they're going to commit and play in Orlando or not. They've got till Wednesday. I still think we're going to see a few more players who decide to stay home.
Wojnarowski.
You really had to call him out for not having any Woj bombs recently.
I know, right? And all of a sudden I said, hey, at least he's just dropping truth bombs. And now all of a sudden we got players coming down with COVID-19 and the Joker, as they call him, Jokic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's got it, which is interesting, like logistically, I guess, because he's not here in the United States, so obviously he's got to get cleared to fly.
Yeah.
And the test just came through, so I guess they're gonna have to wait for that for a little bit.
Well, and keep in mind, I mean that's a big time player. That's a big time player on a big time team.
Best player on the Nuggets, who I said were the sleeper team.
Exactly. So interesting to see how that plays out. Because once again, I mean, I'm sure guys have been playing basketball during this whole thing, but it's different playing with your own teammates, getting back in that game-ready shape now, and obviously the Nuggets are going to be behind because Jokic? I don't know. I mean, I've been having pronounced a tennis player. Jokic. Hey, I should get a Nobel Prize for having to go from Jokic to Novak Djokovic, okay? It's not that easy. No one wants this job right now. But needless to say, though, it'll be interesting to see how he responds to obviously having that short time period to prep himself, assuming that he gets cleared of COVID-19 and back on his team. Kuz, during the break here, and real quick, before we get to that, though, we got some comments here I got to address real quick. Steve Boston, great friend of the show. Austin, how do you feel about The Undertaker finally hanging up his gloves, and how should AJ Styles feel he was Taker's last opponent? Listen, I think that we all imagine that The Undertaker would be done eventually, right? And all of a sudden that documentary dropped, One Last Ride, and you kind of got the feeling that, all right, maybe this is setting up for something. It's kind of a crazy way to go out at the end of the day, like remembering him and AJ Styles in that last match. Like, if one thing it does, it boosts AJ Styles to another stratosphere of talent, right? Because keep in mind, at the time, you had Gallows, you essentially had the OC, right? Well, now it's just AJ Styles left, but I think it still propels him to a new stratosphere. The biggest question, though, is this really the last of The Undertaker? Because we've heard these rumors before. How do I feel about it? Listen, man, that dude has done his time. He's mastered his craft. He's put the work in, and that guy deserves retirement. And I understand, man, especially professional wrestling, where it's one of those things that it's hard to walk away, and you feel like you can keep on going and keep on going. And I'm reminded of a couple years ago, obviously in Saudi Arabia, when it was him and Goldberg, and just how bad that match came across and everything. Obviously, The Undertaker is on the twilight of his career. I was expecting just one more like official farewell match, but given the circumstances of COVID-19, I'm not surprised he's walking away, man. And I guess, how do I feel about it? Listen, my first wrestling match I ever saw in person was, I was like 6 years old. It was at the University of Stevens Point, and WWF was there. It was my first introduction to The Undertaker. And like most children that age, I was scared to all get out of with him, right? But I still thought he was the coolest dude ever. I ended up getting, they used to call him Wrestling Buddy. So I got the Undertaker Wrestling Buddy. It's still at my home. It's still at my grandma's house to this day. So I'm a huge Undertaker fan. I grew up with The Undertaker. If this truly is his last ride, then we salute you, sir. That's what's up. Raymond James goes, with all what you said during the last segment, do you think GM and coaching staff put too much stock in the offensive line? And if you missed the last segment, I kind of talked about a little bit how Gardner Minshew, I think, kind of holds Dave Caldwell's destiny in his hands right now, because it's hard to justify a GM getting 4 cracks at a quarterback in 9 years. So with that saying, have they put too much stock into the offensive line? Listen, I think the offensive line overall underperformed greatly last year. Whether that was because of the penalties, whether it was because the play on the field, they didn't do that well last year. I think it shows that in the NFL draft this past season that the Jaguars have confidence going forward, not really addressing the issues. Is Cam Robinson going to be back to being 100%? Was that knee bothering him last year? Obviously, Juwan Taylor going forward, very likable. Obviously, you got a guy like Brandon Linder, Mr. Dependable, could be a Pro Bowler. Who knows? So I think the offensive line right now, on paper, is intriguing. But can they play as a cohesive unit? We'll find out. But to answer your question, Raymond James. I'm sorry, let's call him Raymond James. Ramon James. To answer your question, though, keep this in mind. Dave Caldwell, he has this opportunity to put whoever he wants in there at offensive lineman, okay? And Doug Marrone is an offensive line coach. That's how he got his start. So he knows the game of offensive linemen in and out. So if they don't succeed this year, well, what does that say about your coach who grew up around offensive linemen being your head coach? Simple as that. One last question. Amos Smith, where's Brent? Austin is terrible solo, exclamation point, exclamation point. Well, Brent's on vacation right now because we're in the middle of summer, and I'm sorry that I'm terrible by myself. Not much more we can do, though. Kuz, feel free to say some more stuff if you want to, but it is what it is.
Oh, if he thought it was bad with you, just wait till tomorrow when it's only me.
Exactly, man. If you think this was bad,
you'll be wanting you back.
Check us out tomorrow, ESPN690. We're just trying to make it.
What a sell.
Right? If you thought we were bad today, check us out tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, be sure to tune in, though, the rest of the week. It's kind of be like the best of show. A lot of great interviews. A lot of great content. Check us out. Kuz, speaking of, content, if you will, there's a new app that's circulating right now on the interwebs, if you will. And it sounds intriguing. Sounds like an easy way to make a couple bucks. Please share.
Well, I don't know. I think it's more of like a social experiment, but it's called Finger on the App Game. And the idea is you hold your finger on your phone, the sensor part of your phone.
Correct.
And the person that does that the longest wins. And on the 30th, so next week, they're doing a game with everyone that has the app. So if you have it downloaded, you can play. And the winner, the person that holds their thumb or finger on the app the longest, could potentially win $25,000. But the kicker is everyone that loses, so literally everyone else but one person, they get to vote on how much money you win. So it could be 1 cent.
Yeah.
It could be $25K.
So whoever keeps their finger on their phone the longest playing this game out of all the people
Which
gets
I'm
the prize.
convinced someone's going to get like a stylist and put the
Well, here's the thing. Okay, and here's where I come into play because once again, I'm competitive.
I know.
And I like money.
And we have off. So.
Okay, and we have off. We have some time on our hands, right? I'm going to present a scenario to you, okay? I don't want any comments from you, Kuz. I just want you to go with the flow because this involves you. I have a plan, and we're going to win this thing. But I need you to be a team player. Can you do that for me?
Possibly.
Are you a team player?
Yeah.
Hey, are you a team player?
Yeah, I'm a team player.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop in my car after the show in about 15 minutes. We're going to go to my house. I'm going to take out a knife. I'm going to chop.
Okay.
Stop. Hey, I'm not done. Team player. Hey, team player. Gonna chop your finger off. No, just wait. I'm gonna chop your. Hang on. I'm gonna chop your. I'm gonna chop your finger off. Okay, and then we're gonna duct tape your finger. We're gonna download the app, obviously, and we're gonna duct tape your finger onto the screen, and we're gonna win the game. Before you say anything else, it can be your pinky finger. Okay, it's not gonna be one that you really need.
Okay.
It can be on your left hand.
For basketball, I kind of need them though.
Don't worry about that right now. Worry about the $25,000 that we're going to get, okay? So it'll be your pinky finger. We'll chop it off. We'll duct tape it on the phone, and we'll win. You team player?
I guess I would have to look up how much a hospital bill would cost to get a finger put back on.
You forget that my wife is in the medical field.
Oh,
we have
she can just put it on.
Dude, I've thought this whole thing out in the span of 20 seconds. We're good to go.
All right, I'm in.
We don't have anesthesia, but we have the gauze.
Oh, wait, no, I'm going to need that. I'm not.
we have bottles of tequila, Vita de Luis in the back. We got a bunch of stuff that we can give to you. We don't have the anesthesia, though. But what I do have is a hot serrated knife that can just cut through it like butter, and we'll tape it to the phone, and we good to go. Are you in?
I don't know if I'll do that for $25K.
Well, you're going to have to do it.
Potential at $25K.
So go ahead and make sure all your affairs are in order here, because the next 15 minutes when we leave this show, that's priority number one. Be a team player, ESPN690. We're just trying to make it.
This is Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show, you missed this. Dana White with us, president of the UFC.
You don't realize how much you miss live sports. I'd even watch golf right now.
Oh, Dana, don't say that, man. I have to talk about golf like twice a week on this show.
Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN690 in your podcast app.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, I'm Phil Howard, and they call me Profit Manager here at Cox Media Group because my only focus is to deliver advertising and marketing results for the businesses I work with. Our 8 radio stations and extensive online marketing tools, which include partnerships with Facebook and Google, have done just that for many local businesses. I'm here for you and to help you grow strategically. Call me at 451-2872. That's 451-2872. I want to be your profit manager.
It happens to all of us. That AC unit just starts making some noise, or even worse, it's not working anymore. This is the time of year you don't want that to happen. It's way too hot around here. My friends at Bold City Heating and Air will help. They helped us. It started with a call from my wife, and she said the AC wasn't working. So we jumped on boldcityac.com, and before we knew it, they were at the door. Super friendly customer service, clean, timely, and personal service call. And now we're loyal to Bold City Heating and Air. They took care of my family. They'll take care of your family. It's a big investment in AC unit, but a necessary one. Mirrors at Bold City Heating and Air has built a strong culture, and as a customer, you can feel it. We felt it. The easiest way to start the relationship with an AC company you can trust is to go to boldcityac.com. Have Bold City Heating and Air check out your AC. Right now, it's $25 off and annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it's working efficiently. Good peace of mind at the very least. Visit boldcityac.com. Be bold and beat the heat at boldcityac.com.
Response to Diamonds Direct's incredible free finance offer has been amazing. People are driving for hours to take advantage of 5 years zero-interest financing with nothing down. But listen, these are the final days. This aggressive offer ends on June 30th and will not be extended. So don't wait another minute. Get to Diamonds Direct now. Pick any item. Get the unbeatable price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. It's the smartest way to buy, and it makes everything more affordable. An $8,000 designer engagement ring is just $134 a month. You can even finance the sales tax. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, one-of-a-kind designer pieces. Everything's included. But there's one catch. This is a limited time offer, and it ends Thursday, June 30th on approved credit. 5 years, zero interest, nothing down, nothing held back. Exclusively at Diamonds Direct.
Take a look out your window right now. Things appear basically the same, but you know they're not. Same with your business. There have been changes, some might even be permanent. Only time will tell. But in the meantime, how will you respond? Stay the course, or will you explore the new opportunities in front of you? At Cox Media Group Jacksonville, we know that those who explore often discover wonderful new things. If you're willing, we're able to help. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com. And let's build Jax.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz.
Judge Judy is set to end after the show's 25th season, but that doesn't mean Judge Judy is going away. The Mega Millionaire syndication queen will begin production on a new show called Judy Justice.
Oh, you know who made the decision? Viacom. They're clearing her off the books to make room for Romo. It's a good guess.
Tap space.
You want more from the Dan Le Batard Show? Check out the podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
I'm NASCAR champion Kurt Busch, and you're listening to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, it's my last day on the show here for a week and a half, and I was hoping that I was going to get to go out with some good news and have my feet in the parking lot, but the FBI and NASCAR has officially released a statement regarding Bubba Wallace. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to be relieved by the information or if I'm upset with the information. Let's go and just get to it real quick. And obviously, Bubba Wallace, the only black NASCAR driver right now in racing, a guy who's been very adamant about the removal of Confederate flags at racetracks, and a guy who has gained a lot of ground, a lot of traction, and has had a lot of support with drivers alike. We're reminded of the scene yesterday at Talladega, the entire pit crews of every single driver and drivers alike pushed his car down the road to put him in the front position. And obviously, me being a person of color, being a black man, I mean, I love seeing that sight. I think it's a great move by NASCAR in forwarding the sport. Well, It stemmed from the noose found in the garage, and now there's a statement, a joint statement from the U.S. Attorney J.E. Town and FBI Special Agent in charge, Johnny Sharp Jr. And this is regarding the noose that was found in NASCAR racer Bubba Wallace's garage at Talladega Superspeedway. And I quote, "On Monday, 15 FBI special agents conducted numerous interviews regarding the situation at Talladega Superspeedway. After a thorough review of the facts and evidence surrounding this event, we have concluded that no federal crime has been committed. The FBI learned that garage number 4, where the noose was found, was assigned to Bubba Wallace last week. The investigation also revealed evidence, including authentic video confirmed by NASCAR, that the noose found in the garage number 4 was in fact from early October of 2019. Although the noose is now known to have been in garage number 4 in 2019, nobody could have known Mr. Wallace would be assigned to garage number 4 last week. The decision not to pursue federal charges is proper after reviewing all available facts and all applicable federal laws. We offer our thanks to NASCAR, Mr. Wallace, and everyone who cooperated with this investigation." And real quick, the statement from NASCAR released 16 minutes ago. The FBI has completed its investigation at Talladega Superspeedway and determined that Bubba Wallace was not the target of a hate crime. The FBI report concludes, and photographic evidence confirms, that the garage door pull rope fashioned like a noose had been positioned there since as early as last fall. This was obviously well before 43 teams' arrival and garage assignment. We appreciate the FBI's quick and thorough investigation and are thankful to learn that this was not an intentional racist act against Bubba. We remain steadfast in our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all who love racing. I'm sitting here right now, and yesterday I was very passionate about how I felt about the situation. I was passionate in saying that Bubba Wallace finding a noose didn't surprise me. I think that that's kind of the state that we're in right now. It didn't surprise me that some people could be upset about the Confederate flag. So I went on this giant rant saying how, it was a cowardly act and it was the wrong thing for someone to do. And if you don't like the ban of the Confederate flag, then just leave. You don't have to retaliate hate. And now I sit here and it's like, well, that never transpired. And I'm kind of at a loss for words, and I'm at a crossroads because a part of me is happy because you know what? That means right now that whether it's another driver that he shares a garage with, whether it's another pit crew member that he's associated with, whatever it is, there's no one that hates Bubba Wallace to the fact that they need to throw a noose in there, right? And there's no one that has to have the fact that they felt the need to throw a noose in Bubba Wallace's garage. So in reality, well, that's good news, right? Because that means right now, in terms of NASCAR, who's always trying to, forward things, obviously, and come off in a good light, that's good. That there is no one that's conspiring against Bubba Wallace. That's fantastic news. But at the same time, there was energy, whether it was from me, whether it was from other members of the media, whether it was from athletes, whoever it was from, there was energy that was used to speak out against supposedly that noose, all right? And there was a lot of passionate things, and I think of Marty Smith, man. I think of Marty Smith, who's one of my heroes, who tells it like it is, who has no problem being himself and was almost brought to tears yesterday on ESPN, talking about just the problems with that noose and everything. And I think about what he has to say right now. And I think about what other athletes have to say right now, where this was just a big misunderstanding. I get these things can happen, and that's okay. And you know what? Honestly, I'm happy that no other driver or no other member of NASCAR planted that noose and has ill will towards Bubba Wallace. And I'm also happy that the drivers, in response to said noose, rallied around behind Bubba Wallace and showed him, hey, you know what? We support you. You can't take that moment out of my head regardless of what it stemmed from, okay? You can't take the moment out of my head of every single NASCAR driver and their pit crew pushing Bubba Wallace's car to the lead pack. You can't take that image away from me. But where I'm frustrated is that we're spending energy in places where I guess we don't have to spend energy in, okay? Because it was a big misconception. And right now, the way the world is, man, the last thing we need are misconceptions. The last thing we need right now are misunderstandings or things taken out of context. Because we're all expelling our energy for the greater good. Whatever side you're on right now, whether it's the right side or the wrong side, we're expending our energy. And I don't want to see these things happen where they're misconceptions. It's not really true. And now we're left thinking like, oh, well, then what the heck did I just waste my time for, man? Okay? So I guess overall, as I'm talking through it right now with people that are listening on our radio show or watching on our stream, I guess what I want to say is I'm upset because the noose wasn't in his garage and I spent so much time sticking up for Bubba Wallace and I spent so much time being upset with NASCAR and the people around it. So I apologize behind that. But I'm not going to apologize for what happened after that. I'm not going to apologize for the drivers that rallied behind Bubba Wallace, for the fans that supported him, for NASCAR trying to take things in a new direction. That I'm not going to apologize for. That I am thankful for. So regardless of the circumstances and regardless of what has come from it, we're in a new light right now, and we'll see where we go from here. Well, like I said, to start out the show, we're going to be off the air for a week and a half, but we still got a lot of great content for you guys the next couple of days. It's going to be a best of show, if you will. So until that time, everybody, y'all stay safe out there. Y'all enjoy your 4th of July. I'll be around. Hit me up, and we'll talk to you guys when we get back. Have a good break, everybody.
Oye, amigo, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
We've talked about this before. When a bank gives you $100,000 by mistake, do not go spend that money because you're going to get into a lot of